Hi y'all. Thank you for the raid, Molly. Hello, Maya. Hi, Mark. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all having a good day and having a good week. Thank you for the bonk, Kay. Hi, Kay. How long has it been since we did Ace Attorney? Was it 3 weeks or 3 weeks? I think it's been 3 weeks. Because 4th of July, I was busy preparing for the kitten. And then last week, I was busy preparing for the kitten, who is currently sleeping in my bedroom and is not currently in the office with me. I apologize. Otherwise, you know, I would have him in here and trying to say hello, because he's actually calmed down at the moment. We played a bit before the stream started, so he should be nice and calm for now if he ever decides to come in. But he's probably sleeping. But hi! We're back! For some more Dual Destinies. Episode 4, because we finished episode 3 last time. Huzzah.
No, what's wrong?
Why is it always Naegi? Naegi, this isn't Danganronpa. How do you keep coming? Okay, you're the joke one, and yet. Thank you for the objection. Hi, Lady Devoir. Hello, y'all. Pardon me, my camera might be a little bit wonky. There we go, that might help. Every time, it's weird, right? Anyways, Cosmic Turnabout. No idea what that means. Space stuff. I like space. Space is fun.
No, what's wrong?
Twice in a row, Makoto Naegi. You don't have a new Danganronpa game out, although there is a new game out that's very Danganronpa-like, or at least made by the same people, but... No. Danganronpa is done for now. That was the whole point of V3. Go back home. Time for another trial to begin, another time for me to remember what these voices were. This one is different. Sorry to bother you, but... Juniper! Are you alright, Apollo? Was I making a scary face just now? Okay, now the question is this still before? Oh, wait, no, wait. Is this the trial? That's right, I remember now. This is the trial that leads to the explosion where Apollo gets hurt. Ack. Because at the very beginning of the game, it goes, hey, there was an explosion in the courtroom. Apollo got very seriously hurt. Now he looks all edgy and badass. And now let's look at the past. I might want to do the special case first. Too late. We're already here. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Oh, hi, Juniper. Yes, I'm fine. I was just doing my Cords of Steel exercises. Now I'm all ready to go. Yes, knowing you, I'm sure you'll be just fine. Oh, I brought you a present from my garden. Is this lotus root? See, now I'm thinking about fried okra. I haven't had fried okra in years, but I used to love that shit as a kid. What am I thinking about? That's not okra, that's whatever. That's right. My grandma says lotus root is good for your eyes. Good, I'm gonna need that because I'm only gonna have one working eye for a while shortly after this. She even says that if you look through the holes, it can help you see into the future. It's for good luck. Maybe later you can cook it, and thanks for this. I'm gonna have some right now. Raw! Great! Tastes great! Oh my! Kind of tough though. You can't eat it raw, but thank you for the enthusiastic try. Oops. She didn't think me weird before, she will now. I've got to calm down. Hey, dumbass, do you... The most in love I've ever seen an Ace Attorney character, I'm pretty sure. And yet, still oblivious as hell. Actually, you know what? That's relatable. Very relatable. Apollo! So I forgot I still have you in the outfit. Hold on. I feel like I should turn that off. We're not at school anymore. You don't need this. Back to menu real fast. Don't save, I just saved. Are you sure you want to... Wait, did I save? Wait, did I save? Wait, did I save? With the pink heart sweater? I'm sorry, do you mean this pink heart sweater? You make a very valid point there, Lady Devar. That one can stay on. This one can stay on. But I like your normal outfit. And you need to stay in this because it's hilarious and you're a dweeb. Anyways, back to it. Oh, well, I can do it after later on in this case, because I'm sure that it affects with his edge boy look, right? Apollo, I'm sorry I'm late. Hi, Athena. Junie, I didn't know you were coming today. Did you come to cheer Apollo on? Oh, I get it, you sly little thing. I have no idea what you mean, she says, knitting a heart scarf. And it's like, yeah, Athena, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh, Apollo, oblivious as ever. I think it's gonna make an issue soon. I'll switch him off, despite how dope his clothes are. I love this outfit, but he can take it off. That's fine. He unbundles. Hey, look, he's in his slut era now. He's a dad now. He gets to be a DILF. I mean, to be fair, the only person he's slutting for is Miles Edgeworth, who's not even in this game, but still. Athena, stop! You're kidding around, Athena. The trial's about to start any second. Is everything all set? Oh, Apollo, Apollo. When will you ever figure it out? Figure out what? Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Who the hell are you? Why are you dressed like this? This is it. It's all over. Why do you remind me of Larry Butts? No. For the love of God, no. It can't be. This is it. Wait, hold on. Oh, this is it, man. It's all over for me. They're gonna find me guilty. This is our client, one Mr. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Sir, are you the fucking loser? Are you the fucking asshole who's like a union buster and is fucking over all those employees? Can I kick your ass? Oh, wait. Yeah, you're Mr. Starbuck, right? Yeah, so you run the coffee chain. Fuck you. He's a very famous astronaut who happens to be an acquaintance of mine. How? What? I want to know right now, but he's usually a very upbeat and driven person. Does he know Larry Butts? The scene of the crime this time happened to be the Cosmos Space Center. Back in high school, my best friend and I went there almost a little too much. Your name is literally Apollo. So I guess this makes sense. That's where we met Mr. Starbuck. We'd ask about space travel, and he'd launch into story after story with so much passion. Back in those days, the man was 100% my hero. So you became a lawyer instead of an astronaut. Okay, so your hair is 100% rocket ship shaped and colored. You know what? Props for taking the time and the effort. That's gotta be difficult. How much hair gel do you use? Is it a lot? I bet it's a lot. Oh, also, I forgot to change this. Hold on. Need to be objecting at all times. Are you sure you're okay with being my lawyer, Apollo? Of course I'm sure. I know you, Mr. Starbuck. I know you're not the type to commit murder. Thanks, but... I was supposed to be in space right about now. So depressed, it almost seems like an act. The launch getting called off must have been a huge shock. I'll probably never get the chance to go into space again. Don't say that! Don't stop believing! Just like that song! Oh, I don't remember what the words to it anymore. What was it? Nope, lost it. Besides, you just have to go into space again. I don't think I could face Clay in the afterlife if I just rotted away in a cell. Is that your husband? Clay Taryn. I can't believe he was murdered. Oh, okay, I apologize for making that joke right now. Hi, Bibies. Thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate it. I mean, he was such a promising astronaut under your command. Yeah, he was a good guy. Always there to pick me up when I was down. All it takes is a little bit of rocket fuel. That's what we call the coffee at the center. It tastes like shit. Really flammable. It's actually a little bit of a hazard, but drink it anyway because it really perks you up, and also you'd be blasted in the back. Anyways, no one loves life as much as him, that's for sure. He was always so full of energy, telling me, "You're fine, Mr. Starbuck." How could something like this happen to a guy like him, huh? I've never seen Mr. Starbuck so down. Also, do you like dye your hair? Because your beard is giving you one color, but your hair is doing another. Like, boy, you put so much effort. Also, why are you wearing your spacesuit to court? I feel like... How do I put this? I feel like that's a breach of a lot of, like a lot of contracts and a lot of NDAs and a lot of legal other stuff. Like, you're going to be on trial for something completely different. Well, he's gone and I'm going to prison. I wish I could burn up like a shooting star right now. And snap, spontaneous combustion. Where's that rocket fuel? Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. Ugh, what is it? What's with the yelling? Oh, I didn't yell loud enough. Mr. Starbuck, you'll be fine. Also, what are we holding? Ooh. Stabbing. The victim was discovered in the third floor boarding lounge in the main building. Why are you wearing a visor to go to space? It could be. Just like, I just feel more comfortable in this suit. That's a fake, right? Fake, right? It's like, yeah, sure, whatever makes you feel better. Clay Taryn, age 23. Solomon Starbuck, age 33. He was a Hat 2 crew member and a close friend. Oh shit. Clay Taryn was Apollo's best friend. I feel like there's a lot of conflict of interest here. And yet, at the same time, I'll get to the bottom of this today. You'll see. In exchange, I want you to go back into space for you and Clay. Promise? Does that mean you have lots of evidence to prove my innocence? Well, taking a look at the court record here. Oh, let's see. I've got my badge. I've got the autopsy report. Is there anything else in here? That's all we got, boss. We have a lot of something, that's for sure. Oh, well, about that. We didn't get to investigate the area as much as I would like, thanks to the police. I'm done for. I'm a goner. Everybody thinks I did it. Thought I was gonna soar like a comet, but I'm just gonna crash like a meteorite. No, don't say that, Mr. Starbuck. Don't count yourself out yet. I know it's hard to lose a teammate, but you've got to keep going. Apollo, didn't your best friend die, considering that this probably happened yesterday, knowing the way the trials work in this world? And what about you, Apollo? What about me? I'm perfectly fine. Everything's great. Don't worry about it. What do you, I'm just here. Beat your king. Let's go get this trial. Everything's gonna be great. I was just thinking, wasn't Clay your best friend? Need to focus on the trial right now. Are you all ready to go? Apollo.
The trial's about to begin. The defense would please proceed into the courtroom.
Okay, here we go. This is it. This is one trial I can't afford to lose. Don't we say that about every trial? For Clay's sake and our clients, I will find Clay's killer because that's my job as a lawyer. December 16th, 9:55 a.m. Oh wait, no. Monokuma voice. District Court! Courtroom number 4. Day 1! Court is now in session. All rise for the Honorable Judge Monokuma!
Court is now in session for the trial of Solomon Starbuck.
Apollo, I have questions. Sir? Sir? Sir, I have questions. Sir, what? But... Are you telling me the bandage over his eye in the first trial? You're telling me the bandage he had wasn't from the explosion? Hold on. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Excuse me, Mr. Justice.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's happened to your eye?
I'm fine. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Are you sure? I don't...
I'm fine, Your Honor. The defense is ready. Can you tell how fine I am by the way I'm screaming, I'm fine? Don't worry about it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. He's been like this since yesterday. He keeps insisting it's just a sty.
I suppose it's something he doesn't want to discuss. Maybe he's entering a touchy age.
I'm 23. Well, actually.
Very well. And the prosecution?
Hi, Black Quill. It's good to see you out of your cell. Again. Are you, like, actually in prison? Or are you just, like, pretending to be in prison because of reasons?
Prosecution appears to be ready as well.
Silence.
You good, buddy?
Not yet.
No, what was your voice?
I'm not quite...
Hold on, wait. What was his voice? Does anyone remember how I did his voice?
Not yet. There it is. I found it again. I'm not quite ready yet. I have to brood for 30 more seconds, and then I reach maximum edge.
Wow, shackles off immediately. That's new. Normally you wait until a really important part in the trial. You're just like, why do we even bother putting the cuffs on him? Hello?
Roar! The prosecution is now ready.
Okay, are we sure that you're a prisoner? And not just like, I don't know, someone who just likes free food? Well, it didn't take him long this time. What about the Black Quill?
Now then, I shall give the opening statement.
Silence.
You never like giving the opening statement. What the hell? What's going on with you, Black Quill? This is new.
I'll do it. You will? What an unexpected surprise! This time, I can't leave it to anyone else. I see. Something is off with the two of you today.
There are... I feel like there's a really terrible... There's a lewd joke I can make here. I feel like maybe I shouldn't.
You will seem different somehow. As if you spent the night together and maybe things happened and that's why your eyes messed up and you're acting awkward. For you, this is awkward, Blackquill. Very well, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your opening statement, if you would. It was just yesterday.
The crimes in question.
Crimes? Multiple? What do you mean multiple?
In question occurred at the Cosmos Space Center.
Oh, that famous federal research facility of all things related to astrology, right?
Astronomy. It's astronomy. You're thinking about zodiac signs. Anyway, a rocket was set to launch from there. But at 9:28 a.m., before they could even move the rocket to the launch site, two explosive devices were detonated, and the launch was cancelled.
My word! 2 bombs? How dreadful!
The defendant in today's trial is charged with both the bombing and with murder. One Mr. Solomon Starbuck. For whatever inane reason, he detonated a bomb on the rocket he himself would be in.
Motive, please. Solomon Starbuck? I recognize that name. Isn't he that famous astronaut?
Correct, your baldness. Mr. Starbuck was the pilot of the Hat 1 rocket 7 years ago. As you may recall, despite some interstellar trouble, his mission was a success. A little bit of light cosmic radiation, now he can move his body like rubber, but we don't really need to talk about that. Some say it was a miracle he returned alive. Suppose you could say he's a living legend.
Why I chose the worst of the Fantastic Four, I don't know. That's the first one that came to mind. Oh, I remember now. He's become something of an international celebrity, right? They even turned that incident into a movie and everything. Wow, in a 7-year time span? Really, that shit takes a lot longer. Also, I kind of miss that hairstyle a little bit. Now you're kind of dorky with the rocket-shaped hair. Which, don't get me wrong, it's fun in its own way, but still. We've got a real space pioneer in court today.
But even heroes tumble from their lofty heights. Returning to the subject at hand.
Oh, yes, the victim was one Mr. Clay Terran, a subordinate of the defendant. Clay Terran. Name is just Earth twice.
Indeed, a loyal disciple brutally stabbed to death by his mentor, or so we allege as the prosecution.
Has not yet been proven.
Stabbed to death, you say? You mean his death wasn't a result of the bombing?
Correct. Despite his lofty dreams, the victim was seen as an interloper by the defendant, and so he was sent not into space, but to the universe which we mortals cannot see.
The ethereal plane? I mean, you can see it if you use True Sight. No, it's a little bit of a higher level spell, but entirely possible.
Clay.
I think I've heard enough. The case seems pretty clear-cut at this point.
Okay, multiple questions. 1, you haven't established anything about how or why. I guess that's an opening statement.
However, there is one thing I'm curious about. That metal box next to the witness stand.
Hey, that's the bomb that blows up later.
What purpose does it serve, exactly?
Since you asked so nicely, it's your coffin.
Oh, have mercy on me! I am but a humble old man. Please, I'm not ready to die yet.
I jest. It's evidence. Due to its immense size, we've little choice but to lay it where it rests now. We shall get to the contents of the box in due time.
I feel like I just lost 50 years off my life. I've only got another 972 to go.
Does he even have 50 years left? Inner monologue, Athena! Inner monologue!
Enough jabbering.
Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. Oh, Detective Fulbright. Very well then. Please explain the details of this incident to the court, if you would.
On it.
First, take a look at this pamphlet from the Cosmos Space Center.
And then you'll find a diagram outlining the overall layout of the Space Center. No, wrong voice. Oh, here we are. For a more detailed look at what's on the left side of the building, take a look at this cross-section that the police have created. See the launch pad in the main building?
Here's the thing. From what I know about launching rockets into space, which admittedly, I'm not a rocket scientist. And maybe the extent of my rocket science is Kerbal Space Program. But I'm pretty sure you don't want your launch pad A being inside, and B nearing even remotely anywhere near any buildings whatsoever. They're built very, very, very far away from everything. For very specific reasons. Hi, kitty. You're not Biscuit. You're not my kitten. Thank you for the hat, though. I appreciate it.
The launch pad is the square building, and the rounded structure is the... Wait, no, wrong voice. Once again, I need to... See the launch pad in the main building? The launch pod is the square building, and the rounded structure is the main building, right?
How long were you staying there, kitty?
You got it. The incident took place in launch pad 1 and in the main building's lounge.
Do we need to update the kitty hat? Well, they also thank you for the bit, Spy Beast. I'd say yes, except we can't affect it. I wish we could.
I'll be using this diagram during my testimony. It'll make it easier to understand.
Details of the case.
Just before the rocket was set to launch, 2 bombs went off. Boom! Boom!
Okay. I mean, are you serious about just before?
One on the second floor of the Space Center's main building and one in Launch Pad 1. Thankfully, only the 2 astronauts were in Launch Pad 1 at the time. The 2 of them managed to make it back as far as the boarding lounge. But after the escape, one of the 2 was found stabbed to death. A murder on top of a bombing? Detective, the victim was already dead by the time you arrived at the lounge, correct?
I feel like none of that implicates our client.
Yep, thinking he'd sabotage the bombing, the defendant killed him right there in the rockets.
I have so many questions. Hold on. I have so many questions immediately. Okay, so according to what he's saying, Clay and Starbuck, were both in the rocket. So we stabbed him in the rocket. And then the bombs went... what?
Just look at this tragic photo! Oh my, is that a knife in the victim's chest? Yes, Your Honor, it's the knife that cruelly ended this young man's dreams. We couldn't get any prints off of it, though, because the defendant was in his spacesuit.
The victim had a glove off.
By the way, Detective Fulbright, why are the victim's helmet and right glove absent in this photograph? We had to remove them to identify him, Your Honor. I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. Yes. It will be very difficult to identify him without face or fingerprints. Now, there's just one more thing I'd like to inquire about. What is this round thing next to the victim in the photo?
Something so important to the victim, he took it with him as he escaped the launch pad. A capsule that apparently contains asteroid samples. While obviously valuable for research purposes, it has no relation to this case.
I see.
So, we know that the bomb in the main building was on the second floor. But where is the bomb that was in Launchpad 1 located?
And that one was on the rocket itself.
Why would he set off a rocket to explode that he himself was already inside? Hello? I don't understand the logic here.
It was situated around the central part of the rocket. Apparently, the area around the launchpad's elevator was a sea of flames. I would like to submit this diagram report into the record.
The trials just started and we're already in a bind. I don't know if we're in a bind. He hasn't said anything of substance. You get used to it. Besides, that's what cross-examination is for, right? The 2 astronauts were doing during the bombing. That'll be the key.
Hold it!
How powerful were the explosions?
Well, the one in the main building wasn't strong enough to bring the place down, but the room it went off in was burned black. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. Due in large part, of course, to me, stepping up to lead the evacuation.
Why were you there in the first place? Wait, what were you doing there in the first place, Detective Fulbright? Thank you, Apollo, for voicing my question.
I'm Bobby Fulbright, hero of justice. I'll be there wherever and whenever people need my help.
Are you the bomber? Did you do it? Are you the one causing all these crimes to happen?
I'd go to the other side of the world or even the edge of the universe.
I'm not sure he knows how far that actually is. And also, that still doesn't answer the question of what he was doing there before. I guess I'll leave that one alone because he's an idiot and we're not going to get anything useful. Admirable decision, Justice Dono.
What did he decide?
Anyway, could you describe what it was like at the Space Center at that time?
The bomb cut the power to the central bank of elevators in the third floor lounge. It was pitch black in there, I tell you. However, the security cameras and whatnot were running on emergency backup.
Shouldn't the lights also generally be on emergency backup? And how did the evacuation go?
I immediately and heroically, looking at the court reporter, make sure you write that down and bold that, underline it, italicize it, heroically whisk people down to the Space Center's basement shelter. The basement shelter? Yes, there's an emergency shelter beneath the Space Center.
An emergency shelter, huh? Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom of the diagram. Space Center is pretty impressive to have its own shelter. Once again, I say that usually when a rocket launches, it's on top of an underground network of tunnels to disperse the blast because there's a lot of fire and smoke and other stuff happening when a rocket launches. Anyways, I'm getting annoyed at the wrong thing. I shouldn't be harping on this. This doesn't matter. This point, at least, doesn't matter. The power outage and evacuation seem unrelated to the murder at this point. Guess I'll leave that aside for now. There were 2 explosions in total, correct? Except, important thing to note, if it was pitch black when they were in the lounge, no one would have seen who the real killer was. If there was no lights, no one would have seen someone moving around. Now, hold on 1 second, I have to know something. You okay, Stickers? I just noticed that you're a little messed up. There you go.
Yep, that's right. One on the second floor of the Space Center, we already read this.
Hold it!
I feel like this isn't going to be super helpful, but just in case. Let me get this straight. Mr. Starbuck rigged a rocket he was going to board with explosives.
What are you talking about?
If the defendant really did plant the bomb on his own rocket, he'd get caught in the explosion as well.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. You're really clever sometimes, Mr. Justice. We could really use more people like that.
Fine. A simpleton for a simpleton. Fulbright. The motive.
Understood. The defendant actually had astrophobia.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Astrophobia? What's that?
The fear of space, naturally. Just the thought of space can cause the afflicted to freeze up.
I'm sorry, are we talking about the same world-renowned international celebrity, the astronaut?
And so in his terror, the defendant found a way to stop the launch at the last minute.
He just quit. He could just leave. He doesn't... What kind of extreme and weird-ass explanation is this? That's absurd.
Unfortunately for you, we have evidence. Take a look at these.
What are those? Ibuprofen pills?
These anti-anxiety tablets were found among the defendant's possessions.
Okay. So he has anxiety. He's about to go to space. Everyone would.
Apparently, he was taking them in secret to quell his fears.
There were a multitude of problems with the rocket Mr. Starbuck wrote 7 years ago. Rumor has it threatened to crash a number of times as well. That was, of course, very traumatic for Mr. Starbuck.
Objection!
Objection! But that doesn't mean he'd go so far as to blow up his own ship.
Silence!
The defendant couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he? He could have retired. Yeah, that's called PTSD. That's not called a phobia. Couldn't bear to mar his good name, now could he? No, not if the media had branded him Soul Starbuck, space pioneer extraordinaire. Given these conditions, the defendant could hardly run away like some base smut. Except he could have retired at any point in the last 7 years if he really wanted to. Like, no one's gonna say no to him retiring. He's an astronaut. You don't do that shit well into your 60s. Well, you can, actually. You could. Most people don't, I think. I don't know, actually. It sounds like something you wouldn't do well into your 60s, but you could if you wanted to. Anyways, so that's why you think he resorted to the bombing? Naturally. He constructed this act of sabotage in an attempt to blow up the Space Center. Okay. I feel like this says more about you than it does about our client. Like, of course he was afraid, so of course he blew it up. Isn't that what everyone would do? It's what I would do. Seems like a natural course of action. Blackwell, do you have issues? Do you need to see a therapist? Are you okay, buddy? Which would effectively abort the launch, but spare his reputation. I don't have a refute except for you're the dumbest piece of shit I've ever heard. No, that's wrong. I'm sorry. The second dumbest piece of shit I've ever heard. The first dumbest piece of shit were the motherfuckers who said that this 12-year-old child shot a gun that could dislocate an adult man's shoulder. Excuse me, second dumbest. I didn't mean to offend you.
Now I'm sure you understand why we have to bring justice down on this atrocious criminal.
I hate you. I hate all of you. You're so stupid.
Hold it!
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Are you sure it was only the two of them?
It was just before the spaceship was set to launch, so of course it was only those two.
Ugh. Well, there could have been somebody else inside that rocket.
Silence!
The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is utterly absurd. Just to enter the area from the lounge, one must pass through a door guarded by a fingerprint recognition device. And allow me to state up front that there are precious few with the clearance to do so.
A fingerprint recognition device? That sounds as futuristic and complex as a space center.
What year was this? I feel like it shouldn't be that weird.
Actually, it's not as amazing as you think, Your Honor. Take a look at this photo. Well, this is the door in the lounge with a fingerprint lock. Only personnel whose fingerprints are registered can pass through. My sheet. That is very different from what I had in mind. Is there a record of the number of people that passed through that door yesterday? Yes, there are only 3. The defendant, the victim, and the person who's probably a real killer. Let me introduce you to the director of the Space Center, Yuri Cosmos.
Okay, Yuri Cosmos, I'm calling it now, is our murderer and our bomber. Don't know why yet. You know, I'm a bit of a fan of Yuri myself. Doesn't that mean it's possible that the director is the one who did it? Not a chance. He was in the main building when the bombs exploded at 9:28, doing his job directing the launch. Besides having an alibi, he has no motive for committing these senseless acts. Yeah, neither does Starbuck. He has a point. I guess the director can't be considered a suspect then. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. Launchpad 1 door lock added to the court record. Well, I'm glad that I freaking I'm pressing everything because now I have more evidence that I didn't have before.
Hold it!
Oh, well, it appeared that the pair barely escaped their lives. Hello, and welcome. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the network. Hope you enjoy your time here. So, well, it appeared that the pair barely escaped with their lives. In actuality, one of them had already been murdered inside the rocket. Okay, that's another thing. If he killed him inside the rocket, why would he drag his ass all the way to the lounge instead of letting him, quote-unquote, die in the explosion? That feels like a much smarter way to do it. Like, hypothetically speaking, if I were to be a bomber/murderer looking to kill my, both stop a rocket launch and to kill my subordinate, either of which makes sense, I would, even if I killed him in the rocket, you're right, I should be taking notes. Hold on. I should be taking notes. Hold on. Killed in rocket. Body in lounge. Explosion. Wait, hold on. If he was killed in the rocket, what happened first, the killing or the bombing? Because they were at the same time, how did they get out of the rocket, down the elevator, back towards the lounge? Or back down, why did they get out of the rocket, is my question. Because if the bomb goes off, and now the elevator's fucked, hold on. There, see? If that's where the bomb is, okay, I guess maybe the ladder there? But you absolutely, near the elevator. See, how would they have gotten out of the rocket and back down, and then be like you're about to launch, you're in the rocket, you don't get back out. It's time to go. Alright, I'm just looking at some stuff. Attempts to use print recognition are also recorded via security camera. Okay. Explosion near elevator. Why would you move the body instead of letting it burn in the fires? There's a destroy evidence. Am I just smarter than everyone in this game? It's possible. They killed in the rocket, body in the lounge, explosion director, Yuri, Cosmos, not the good kind of Yuri, just the name Yuri. Although, Yuri on Ice was very good, I did enjoy it. Boy, that show was so gay. Gay. Ironically enough, did not have Yuri. Just keep going. I know just keep going, but I like taking my notes and I like extrapolating. I like calling everyone out for being stupid as shit. This is my one chance to be sassy as hell. That's the angle the prosecution wants to push, correct?
You got it! In fact, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time.
I'm about to fucking end your whole career.
If the victim had been alive, he would have for sure tried to stop the bombing.
Is there any chance Mr. Terran could have been killed before he boarded the rocket?
They were both alive and well at boarding time and embarked under their own power.
What did they get? Okay.
Their hearts full of hopes and dreams of space.
Also, something I want to look at. Where's the picture? Okay. How deep does this... This also doesn't make sense. Those suits are pretty damn thick. First of all, how did you stab through it? It's named after the first man in space, a Russian. That is true. The very first man in space was a Russian. Yeah, that's true. I do remember that. But also, this knife isn't very big, but it's causing, I feel like I shouldn't dwell on that too much. Then both of their hopes and dreams were dashed. They were both alive and well, their hopes full of hopes and dreams of space. You're the one who said that my client, one of those people full of hopes and dreams, did everything.
If I may continue, I almost bit my tongue.
Yeah.
If I may continue my explanation, after the evacuation order was given, the defendant made his escape carrying the victim to make it look like a rescue.
Okay.
But after the escape, one of the two was found stabbed to death.
Hold it!
And who was the first to find the victim?
Actually, there were two of them.
The Space Center director, Yuri Cosmos, and Detective Candace Arm. I remember you, because you were also in the very first trial of this game.
One of them was a detective.
Yep,
Detective Arm specializes in bombings, you see.
wow, she got there fast.
She and the director were ordering the evacuation following the explosions.
She's already dead. That's right, she died in the explosion here in this courtroom? I think?
They were also worried about the astronauts, so they hurried over to the boarding lounge. That's when they discovered the victim along with the defendant.
The witnesses, huh? And one of them is a detective. Not either one would have anything to say that would help me.
I think that pretty much covers the details of the case. Only the victim and the defendant were on the launch pad when the foremost killed. If this is the truth, then only Mr. Starbuck could have carried out this crime.
Murder before. That's right. And the explosion was to cover up her murder. I forgot. Look, that first trial was like months ago at this point. I don't remember anything. I barely remember 3 weeks ago. The little I could get out of it only hurt my case. Justice Dono. Foolish is the warrior who rushes headlong into battle. Preparation is an essential element of battle, so I advise you to take a gander at this. What is it? Footage from a security camera. As the two astronauts emerge from the bowels of the Launchpad 1 corridor, the boarding lounge security camera that captured their desperate escape. Okay, here's what I'm thinking actually happened. The person holding the container there is actually Clay, and the one who's currently hurt and being rescued is Soul. Now, I want to direct your attention to what the defendant is shouldering, which you can see is none other than the lifeless body of the victim. You can't tell who's who in this picture. Excuse you. What? You can't see who's who? We don't know whose that is. Stop making shit up. Fuck you. You also don't see a knife in that body, do you? I shouldn't see a knife.
Order! Order, I say! This lines up exactly what the prosecution has been asserting!
Can I see that picture again so I can just constantly yell at you? I should have known Blackwell would have something like this ready. Security camera video added to the court record. Apollo? Thank you for being the smart one. Dear God. Oh shit. Nope, that's not a knife. That's his zipper. We're good. You can easily see there's not a knife in either of those bodies. Do you see a knife? I don't see a knife. Right? It would be more, well, hold on. It would be right about here. I don't see no knife. There is no knife here. There is no knife in Ba Sing Se. Or in this man's chest. You can clearly see that. And also you can't see their faces, so you don't know who's who. The fact that he's holding the canister kind of proves to me that that is indeed our Clay Terran. How exactly did they determine that Clay was already gone in that footage? I see what you mean. Whether Clay was still alive at that point is pretty crucial. Your Honor, please take another look at the footage. Isn't it possible that Mr. Terran was still alive here, and that Mr. Starbuck was helping him?
Why, I believe you're right. One man carrying the other to safety. What a beautiful expression of friendship.
Silence.
5 feet apart, because they're not gay.
Perhaps that what it looks like to a one-eyed hothead and a dotard. But it only makes sense if it's the victim's dead body. What do you mean? Fulbright, explain it to Justice Dono.
You got it. Ready, kid? If the murder had occurred in the lounge, someone could have spotted it.
The power was out.
Anyone can enter the lounge, after all. But doing it while they were alone in the spaceship, that's a horse of a different color.
You said it yourself. The power was out. It was dark, pitch black, couldn't see a damn thing. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. All of you are dead to me.
Objection!
You can't deny that there's a possibility the murder could have happened in the lounge. All that video shows is a man helping his fellow astronaut out.
Silence.
Your assertion is based on emotion. And so is yours! Hello? Your assertion that he would blow up the rocket to maintain his reputation is based on emotion. That's not logic. But you have no logical explanation as to why the victim could... It's based on your belief that Mr. Starbuck would surely help his own disciple. Also, we don't know that... I would beat all these people in court, and I have never taken a law class, ever. All these motherfuckers would be dead in minutes.
Unfortunately, Mr. Justice, the prosecution is right. Your argument is lacking in sound logic.
Sounded perfectly logical to me.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further objections, I believe it's time to bring this cross-examination to a close.
Objections? Well, Thank you, Athena, for being the smart one in the room. Your Honor, the defense requests a little time to think and regroup.
Given the facts, I'm not sure I see the need.
What is it, Athena? It's just... There's something that's been bothering me. If it isn't the defense, stalling for time as always. I mean, yes, but also fuck you. In case you haven't noticed... Very well. I'm feeling generous. You may have a small measure of time. Why are you always so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me? Because I'm always right! You bastard. I always get the true murderer. I'm a wonderful lawyer. Fuck, even if we do pull off a lot. Fuck you. Yes! You have 5 seconds. 5 seconds?! After that, I declare this cross-examination to be closed, and a verdict to be rendered. That's not your call to make. Your boldness. Raise your gavel high. It's time for a countdown. Ready? We don't have time. Spit it out, Athena.
Only 3 more seconds.
Look, I don't think the prosecution's explanation is very complete. Meaning there's something missing. Like they conveniently left it unexplained. Something they didn't explain? Something they didn't explain. Ah! You're right! I think I know what you're talking about. How they got from the fucking rocket down to the front. The timing. The timing!
Your 5 seconds are up, Mr. Justice. Is there anything about the prosecution's argument that you'd like to rebuke?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there is. There's something the prosecution has yet to make clear to this court.
What if you put it that way? What is it that the prosecution has failed to explain?
Why? Thank you! Thank fucking God! Oh my God, Athena, I love you. Athena, you can have my heart. Thank you. Fuck. God. Oh, it was killing me. Oh, I was dying. They failed to explain why Mr. Starbuck would bother bringing the body back at all. If the defendant wanted to kill the victim, why didn't he just leave his body back in the rocket? Why go through the trouble of bringing him all the way back to the boarding lounge?
Oh, that's true. I don't think we've heard the prosecution's thoughts on that yet.
And because they have none, Your Honor. After all, how does one explain something so logical? The prosecution is claiming that the defendant moved the victim's dead body. But what if the entire premise of that argument is wrong?
Then let's hear your theory, Mr. Justice.
The defense proposed that the defendant didn't kill the victim. He was helping him. Fulbright, explain it for our sad friend here before I nod off to his monotone monologues. The way I do their voices, there's something very ironic about that. Inform him exactly why Space Boy moved the victim. How old are you again? Aren't you younger than him? By like 5 years? Huh? You've got to be joking.
It's simple. Mr. Starbuck did what he did to direct his suspicion away from himself.
Yeah, but if he just... Clearly it didn't work, though. Like, I don't know if you noticed. Didn't work. Not a good plan.
He wanted to create the impression he heroically risked his life to save his partner. Well, that's why I made sure to make it to the security camera, so there'd be a record.
This is a dumb fucking assumption. At the very least, he appears to have achieved success with you and the old man. Nope, not there. Where is... Nope, right about here? Where's the knife? Where's the knife at? There's no knife here. Where's the knife? The average person wearing a spacesuit weighs easily over 200 pounds. Well, there goes my camera. Hold on. Apologies for the loud noise. And for bumping the mic. Obligatory, that's never happened before. There we go, much better. Saving the life of a partner who weighs as much while trying to escape deadly flames. What a dramatic stop story fit for the silver screen. You're very rude in your assumptions, I was gonna say my good sir, but that doesn't seem. What kind of bird is that? It's a hawk. And you know because his name is Taka, which means hawk.
Indeed, I was completely taken in by the humanity of the story.
You see, yet the true ending is that all traces of his hammy act were meant to be blown up. Yes, and now we arrive at the thrilling conclusion. The third explosion.
Objection!
What are you talking about? There was no third explosion. Indeed, you are correct. But that is thanks to Detective Arm. It was she who identified and secured the bomb. However, it doesn't change the fact that the third bomb was discovered in the lounge. Excuse me. Ah, the third bomb that's right there at your feet. It's the one that explodes in this very courtroom in like a day or two? The steel coffin beside the witness stand. That would be a bomb transport case. We use that to transport the deactivated bomb here. The Legal Eagle? Hey, I've seen that guy on YouTube. It was found in the lounge. A bomb in the form of a most distasteful toy. What? One on the second floor of the main building, one on the launch pad, and one in the lounge. The defendant planned to set off 3 fireworks displays. Fortunately, the third was discovered before it could be detonated. For had it not, the victim's body and other vital evidence would surely have been immolated. Then why didn't he just put the victim's body in the first bomb? Like, no! My brother, I tried to save you! Don't worry, go on without me, mentor. Like, you can tell that story. Ew.
Objection!
This is still baseless conjecture. Before you utter a word, know that the evidence supports me. Ugh. It's like he's reading my mind. As it is still undergoing forensic investigation, I do not have the evidence on hand. However, know that a peculiar item was found in one of Mr. Starbuck's pockets. Specifically, a bomb detonation switch. You found what? I suspect the defendant had no time to destroy such damning evidence. Also, once again, I say... S and C. Not the other way around because of this. Because of this thing right here. Because of this. This is Clay. This is Clay. And this is Starbuck. And while he was unconscious, someone put the bomb detonator in his pocket right there. I like messing with chalk. It's fun. When the Space Center director and Detective Arm stumbled across the murder, so he thought to hide it in his pocket. Feeble brain that he is. Do you understand how absolutely smart you have to be an astronaut? Not just fucking anyone can go up in space. Y'all gotta be fucking clever. You gotta do a lot of testing. A lot of smartness there. No! Mr. Starbuck would never do anything like that, and yes, this is an emotional thing and not a logical one, but also... You good down there, Paulo? Justice Dono, open your eyes. Oh, sorry. Eye, and see the truth.
There appears to be irrefutable evidence that the accused set off the explosions.
No! There has to be some kind of mistake. This can't be the truth. Still can't accept it. You'll believe in your client, come what may. That is the job of a lawyer. Then why don't you cross-examine the defendant himself? Got to be a trap. This is 100% a trap. Like Blackwell's controlling the entire game. No, I'm controlling the game. I have the controller. Ow. Yeah, it seemed like he was waiting for me to bring up the body moving issue. Why do you say that? Because he had just the right argument when I pointed it out. To really rub it in, he had a decisive piece of evidence up his sleeve, too. He was trying to shake my faith in Mr. Starbuck and break me down. Then, making you cross-examine Mr. Starbuck at this point was part of the plan, too? Totally underhanded, but I wouldn't expect anything less from him. Now, let us hear from the arch-villain, the fiendish murderer himself, famed astronaut Solomon Starbuck.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Solomon Starbuck. Astronaut. How did this happen?
Mr. Starbuck, you aren't looking very well. Will you be able to give testimony?
No.
Well, unfortunately, no is not an option. You are being accused of the Space Center bombing and the murder of Clay Terran. Please testify to these allegations.
Mind if I take this suit off? It's getting really heavy.
Silence.
It's not the weight of the suit that you feel, but of your sins. You got your sweet and sour cabbage simmering away? Nice. Have you... No, okay. Prepare to carry that weight for the rest of your life. Finish me to the moon. I don't care anymore. Ow, that was super negative. Is he going to be able to ride up there? No. No, he will not. It'll be fine, I think. As long as he doesn't totally give up and say he did it, that is. Which is a real thing that happens. As people being like, the trial system is killing me and this is a lot. All I did was support Clay over my shoulder and get us out of that rocket. Okay, never mind. He's saying that that was him in the video. All I did was support him. Like always, I took the elevator down to the middle level and headed for the corridor. Clay had passed out by the time we got to the order to evacuate. I didn't kill Clay. I was trying to save him.
So you assert you didn't set off the bombs or murder the victim?
I bet you think I'm lying, right?
I reserve all judgment until after I've heard your full testimony.
I'm sure you don't believe me. I bet you don't even believe I'm an astronaut. I don't think the judge doubts that. Who'd wear a suit like that except an astronaut? Cosplayers. Fursuiters.
I will say that when I saw you in that movie, you appeared quite courageous, though I suppose reality never quite lives up to fantasy.
I guess I'm just a big disappointment. I really don't care what happens anymore. Wow, you sound... I've heard a lot of people be depressed like this who say these exact same things. It's really bumming me out, I'm gonna be honest. Oh no, he's completely given up. What a depressing fellow. If you were to join me in the clink, I imagine that annoying sighing of yours would rub off on the other inmates. Wait, that was Blackwell? Hold on, I need to do it like Blackwell did. I don't know how you manage that much air. Like how it rubbed off on Prosecutor Blackwell a second ago. That was Blackwell sighing? Mr. Starbuck's testimony contains a glaring contradiction. The question is, what does it mean? Even if Mr. Starbuck is my client, I can't be gun-shy now. It's time to find out the truth. Client and friend. Didn't kill him.
Hold it!
So what you're saying is that the victim was still alive at that time? Of course! He was alive and well!
Silence!
If so, then you admit you took a man who was alive and well, and silenced him permanently with this? What? No! Black hole confirmed! Dead ahead! There's no confusion! I'm getting sucked in!
Objection!
Mr. Starbuck, you are not in space. Please give your testimony seriously. It was just nerves, but maybe I shouldn't have said he was alive and well. It was more like he was slumped over. Those are complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Like always, I took the elevator. Okay, this is the part that's kind of because that part should have been fire. Is that the elevator inside the launch pad area? That's right. We always use it to get to and from the cockpit. That makes sense. So he's just using the route he always used. In spite of the fact that there had just been an explosion? Huh? Mr. Starbuck is hiding something. Something pretty big.
Objection!
I don't want to do this to you, sir, but... Mr. Starbuck, I need your testimony to be as accurate as possible. Was I not being accurate? No, because it's impossible for you to have taken the elevator down to the middle level.
What makes you say that, Mr. Justice?
Please recall where the bomb went off in Launchpad 1. Also recall that after the explosion, the middle level elevator was engulfed in flames.
Oh, you're right! Which means...
Exactly. The Launchpad's elevator would have been unusable. In other words... Mr. Starbuck, your statement is decidedly inconsistent with the facts. I shouldn't be pointing it out like this. I should be saying something a little bit different. But also, I feel like this leads more credence to the fact that he did not drag a dead body out of that rocket. What's with the helmet? Mission Command. Mission Command, do you read me? Come in, please. This guy definitely has PTSD. He's having terrible fun.
Objection!
This is Mission Command. I order you to pay attention. Stop this nonsense and answer my questions, Mr. This isn't nonsense. He's having anxiety attacks. My helmet. Oxygen. Oxygen. Concentration. Body temperature. Declining. Requesting medical assistance.
Oh wait, no, I can breathe. I didn't know the moon had oxygen.
I think he's having an anxiety attack. I think we need to help him. Can I get him his pills?
Mr. Starbuck, we are not in space right now. Please stop pretending you have lost consciousness and stand back up.
I apologize, Your Honor. I forgot I was still on Earth. I feel like we all just got a real glimpse of Solomon Starbuck, the astronaut. Yeah, he seemed more like an astronaut now than when he was doing all that sighing. Mr. Starbuck, could you please explain the inconsistency in your statement? About how you used the middle level elevator? I was nervous and I said the wrong thing. I'm sorry. I actually took a different route, I think. Different route? I hope you're able to deliver a straight story this time. I'll get it right this time. Maybe. No, I mean, probably. Probably.
It's understandable to be nervous, but let me remind you, accuracy is paramount in court.
Can I go find all those other motherfuckers in the past who have been annoying about this and that weren't my client, and you guys just gave them so many passes? Let's see. My escape route, what I said before, was a mistake. I remember now. I took a different route. Maybe. Probably. With the capsule and clay in my arms, I made my way down from the upper level. So you're saying you escaped without using the elevator? That's right. There's a ladder that spans the upper and middle levels. I used the ladder to get to the middle level. Luckily, the fire hadn't reached the ladder, so we can make it our escape that way. In the capsule you mentioned, I suppose you mean the thing next to Mr. Taryn here? Was the capsule that important that you'd risk your life to take it with you? Almost goes without saying, but yeah, that capsule contains asteroid samples. Therefore, it's invaluable as research material. With this spacesuit on, Clay weighed a ton, but securing the capsule was also important. I need you to answer to the best of your ability. Mr. Starbuck, please remember that your verdict is writing on your testimony. Maybe I am guilty after all. I wonder if you can see the stars in prison. More comfortable than a spaceship. With the capsule and Clay in your arms. I have a feel. Once again, I'm pretty sure he's lying about who's holding who in that picture. I think he's the one who passed out. So Mr. Starbuck escaped with Clay in the capsule, which means it's just like in the footage. I can see why he couldn't run, though. He must have weighed over 200 pounds just by himself. Yeah, and he had to support Clay, who was another 200 pounds. Plus, he had to ensure the safety of that capsule. I don't think I could have even walked under those circumstances. Walking straight forward is probably about all I would have been able to manage. Alright, I want to press on... Let's try together. How could you mistake such a basic fact? Hey, everybody makes mistakes, but try thinking about the vastness of space instead. From Earth, it takes 4 light years to travel to our nearest neighboring star. So you see, compared to the vast expanse of space, human error is insignificant. I wish you'd consider it just a little more significant than 0. Enough jabbering. Get on with your testimony. Ugh.
Hold it!
Upper level of the launch pad area? The upper level of the launch pad area?
That's right.
That's what I said, isn't it? Granted, that route does exist. So to recap, you had Clay over your right shoulder and the capsule in your left hand. Yeah, it's really important, so I couldn't let it get burned up. So even though Clay was really heavy, I couldn't afford to carry him with both hands. I did the best I could with him over one shoulder and the capsule in my other hand. I don't think the meaning of what he just said has hit him yet. Over one shoulder, okay. You know what you have to do with that statement. Justice Dono. Yes, I know! Well, I've come this far, no returning back now. It's time to present some evidence. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what's important. I guess, how the fuck did you go down a ladder like that? So Mr. Starbuck escaped with Clay in the capsule, which means... Oh wait, no, huh? I guess I'm the one who needs to bring that up.
Objection!
Yeah, fuck. Mr. Starbuck, why don't you just tell the truth? Truth? Oh, let's see. The Earth is blue? No, that's not right. So, I guess the Earth isn't blue? Yeah, that's it. Totally got it, nailed it in one. The truth, Mr. Starbuck. The oxygen concentration is super low. This area. Prepare the emergency oxygen tanks.
Mr. Justice, the witness appears confused. Please help draw out the truth from him.
Mr. Starbuck, under the circumstances at the time, you couldn't possibly have reached the boarding lounge via the upper level route. Not as long as this was along the escape route. Shut up. To get down from the upper to the middle level where the launch pad 1 corridor is, you would have to go down the ladder. Isn't that right, Mr. Starbuck?
Of course! That was the only way we could escape!
Objection!
Objection! But how would that work? At the time, you were supporting Mr. Terran over your shoulder, were you not? And remember, he was in full space gear as well, putting him at over 200 pounds.
Well, it's easy on the moon. Gravity is only 1/6 of what it is on Earth, after all.
Well, the Space Center is located on Earth. Short of being an octopus, climbing a ladder with an adult male in space gear in one arm, while carrying the capsule in your other, is impossible, wouldn't you say? In other words, I don't think they were ever in the rocket at all, if he was actually the one who was holding him. Oh! So, Mr. Starbuck, how exactly did you climb that ladder with your arms full? Mr. Starbuck, come clean and tell us the truth now! Engineer! Where's that engineer? Oxygen leak detected due to faulty maintenance. Evacuate immediately! How did you go up? What? What the? He's flying the coop. How did you do that? Was there a draft over there? Help! I'm caught on the ceiling! Help? Anyone? Anyone got any scissors they can throw me?
Bailiff, prepare the cherry picker. We must launch our rescue mission at once.
Oh, that's one way to take off while being questioned. Why a cherry picker? I'm sure we can just get, like, a really big ladder, right? I'd rather prove his innocence so we can go to space again someday for real. There is canonically a very powerful updraft on the witness stand, actually? Wait, there is? What are you talking about? What do you mean canonically and actually? I'm making a joke.
Now then, Mrs. Starbuck, do you think you can keep your feet planted on the ground?
Yes, I apologize for losing control. Are you ready to tell us the truth? Oh, not that. Anything but that. What is going on? This isn't Mr. Starbuck, I know. It appears Space Boy is prone to deception. Witness! Yes? I thought your story odd, but perhaps the inconsistencies can be explained as the result of a medical side effect.
The Prosecutor Blackwell,
Please, please don't talk about that. Hi, Punisher. Hope you're doing well today. Did Apollo also let a 4-year-old use a Nerf dart gun? Maybe? Possibly? I don't know if he knows any 4-year-olds. What are you talking about, Prosecutor Blackwell? Didn't I already state that Space Boy is, ironically, terrified of going into space? That's why I took some precautions just before the launch. For you see, traces of this anti-anxiety drug were found in his system. Okay. I also take anti-anxiety drugs. Every day. Oh. I sense things are about to take a nosedive. Hey guys, apparently I am now a murderer and a terrorist because I take anxiety pills. Oh no. How horrible. Hold it! You got it all wrong. I told him during the investigation too. I don't know anything about any drugs. I never took any medication, I swear. Okay, now I'm just wondering if this translation isn't quite as oh, a scratched cornea? It's very possible. Is it possible that the translation of this is making it out to be different than because like here, especially I have to remember A, when this game I have to remember Japan, B, I have to remember when this game came out. But also C, the translation might be weird. Into this game, Dual Destinies. I don't want to walk through, I just Dual Destinies came out in 2013. It's 11 years old. Jesus Christ. So 2013, and he's famous. It's possible that there's more of a his hair. Yeah, we've already pointed that out. He's a weirdo. For general PTSD in Japan, in Japanese, they might not, but well, actually, they do. I know they do because I read a manga not too long ago that was a self-biography about someone who had. Anyways, autobiography. That's the word. But regardless of the phobia, that part, the main thing I'm harping on is more the fact that it's drugs, quote unquote. And that they're being so persistent about. I don't take any drugs. I don't know what you mean. I was like, is it people against mental illness? Is it people against medication? Or is it because of his reputation? It was found in his system, but he doesn't remember taking it? How could that be? Somebody must have slipped them to me. But I guess maybe that's why I don't remember. Because of the side effects. Yeah, that's why I don't remember much about what really happened. What? So he's saying he was drugged.
Order in the court.
Can't get any useful testimony out of him if he doesn't remember anything. Well, this certainly explains why his testimony kept changing. Ugh. Why didn't he just tell me he couldn't remember? I guess he didn't want anybody to find out he was terrified of going to space. You didn't really do it. Which brings us to the answer of our original question, of how the witness climbed down the ladder with a dead body. Yeah, but I feel like an anti-anxiety drug maybe doesn't have that. I don't know, but they haven't claimed that that's a side effect of this. They haven't talked about that yet. They just said that it messed with his memory. In other words, overdosing? Because, like, normally it's not an effect. It does? So what is it? A dead man feels no pain and makes no complaints, Justice Dodo. So the body was simply dropped down from the top of the ladder. Still don't see a knife in his chest. I'm still not seeing a knife.
Oh my, I see. and then the defendant could climb down with his free hand.
Objection!
Drop the body down? Who would do such a disrespectful thing? Besides, dropping the body down would leave marks on the body itself. So you are capable of quick thinking. Yes, you are correct. Really? Oh, thanks. Ah! What's this? It's the oxygen tank from the victim's spacesuit. It's ruptured, and I'm sure you can figure out why. But it doesn't look ruptured here? Or here? Okay. Well, pooperdoodle. You can't be implying it ruptured when the defendant dropped the victim's body. I am, for they fracture easily when struck.
Objection!
Objection! Even if that's true, the tank's explosion and shrapnel would leave its mark on the body. Yet according to the autopsy report, only the knife wound was found on the victim's body. And again, no knife. There's no knife here. How many times do I have to point this out? You're clearly grasping at straws with this line of reasoning.
Silence!
A spacesuit isn't heavy for the sake of being heavy, Justice Dono. It includes the latest technological devices and is made of the fabric of tomorrow. This fabric is made to protect astronauts from the dangers of space. The falling a few Earth yards would hardly leave a mark on the wearer.
Objection!
Then shouldn't it be impossible to stab someone through it as well? It should. And yet, through sheer coincidence, the knife slipped through a weak spot in the suit's structure and found its way to its target. What are the chances? You forget that Art Keller is an astronaut himself, with knowledge of how the suits work. Ugh, he's got me there. Allegedly. And now my argument has been proven. Spaceboy killed the victim in the rocket and then dropped his body from the upper level. After climbing down, he shouldered the body and made the camera record him. No knife. There's no knife. I'm gonna keep bringing this up until these motherfuckers say something. I'm gonna bring it up every time we see this picture. I don't care. There's no room for debate about these facts. And it's clear that Solomon Starbuck is the only one who could have killed Clay Terran. Here, the report regarding the astronaut's oxygen tank. Consider it my send-off gift. Feel free to use it as payment to cross the River Styx. Oxygen tank data. I got it! I win! I'm the best! I am amazing! I'm the best! I'm the best! I'm amazing! I figured it out! Fuck you! I hope you all see this. I hope you all see this. I hope you see this number. 80%. 80%. The defendant, Solomon Soul Starbuck, was found with 80% oxygen left in his tank. Now, may I please point the report to the security camera video. Please look closely at the person to your right, right side of the screen. Please look at their left shoulder and how that number says 50. Now, I don't know about you, folks, but 50 is smaller than 80. It is a lower number. He did not refill his oxygen in the brief time between this video footage and when he was found. Therefore, the person doing the carrying is in fact not Soul Starbuck, but the victim himself, Clay Terran. And the man over his shoulder is in fact the one and only defendant, Soul Starbuck. Soul Starbuck wasn't he drugged? He was the one who was passed out. And he was dragged away by Clay Terran, who was then stabbed. While the defendant was unconscious. I rest my case, motherfuckers. Fuck Ew. I feel like I don't even need all these notes. I already figured it all out. I don't even need the notebook. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm a genius. I'm amazing. I'm the best lawyer. Hey, this report is pretty detailed.
The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. After the incident, the victim's tank was ruptured and the remaining oxygen was 0%. The tank belonging to Starbuck, who claims to have carried the victim, said it was 80% full. Tanks were functioning properly at the time.
Let's see. The display on the astronaut's left shoulder shows the oxygen remaining. Fuck you. I guess that means these glowing cyan digits represent the amount of oxygen in the tank. Notice it! Notice it! You're staring at it! You're staring it in the face! You're looking at it! Oh my god, Apollo! You are looking at the numbers! You are looking at the numbers, please, my boy. I'm going to press this button. And if the next words out of your mouth aren't, wait a second, I'm going to punch you in the throat. I'm going to punch you. Okay, technically, the next words out of his mouth had not been spoken yet. I'm done for. Going to prison instead of space. Space boy. Yes? Take heart. The bejeweled night sky is still beautiful even when viewed through bars. You mean the stars as seen from prison? That's right. Your cell will be your spaceship. Picture the view through the iron bars. It's like being an astronaut in your own craft for all time. That's not a half bad thought. Mr. Starbuck, Prosecutor Blackwell got to him good. Okay, the next words out of your mouth were not, hey, wait a moment, I'm going to punch you in the throat, Apollo. I'm going to steal your attorney's badge. You don't deserve it. Spaceship prison cell? Fly me, my guilt, and my despair into the deepest, darkest space. And then, let's get sucked into a black hole together. We sucking?
Objection!
Objection! Mr. Starbuck, you can't give up hope. Oh, yes, Apollo. Yes, Apollo. You know, Clay really looked up to you. He said you were an incredible man. He said you never give up your dreams and passion for space, no matter the situation. He said that? So don't give up now and help me prove your innocence. For the sake of the man who respected you and believed in you, Clay Taryn. For Clay. You're wasting your breath. Ugh. Space.
Apollo, thank you. I can see things clearly now.
Mr. Starbuck.
I'm fine now. Thanks for reminding me of my life's mission.
Alright, we'll both be fine. I'll prove that you're innocent. You'll see. And after that, we'll get you back into space. You've ignited the booster rockets of my soul! I'm on fire! I am Solomon Starbuck, astronaut, a cosmic hero chosen by the universe himself. This is no time to be whimpering and crying. I can't let you and Clay down. Balderdash, the sun, the moon, all of space is calling me. Solomon Soul Starbuck. Ready for launch. Begin the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! Why are you swimming through the air? Please, please, if you start floating, I'm gonna laugh so hard. Oh, he was just jumping. That was so dorky, and yet I'm kind of into it.
Bro, I feel like I've witnessed an actual rocket launch.
Apollo, you did it! You broke Prosecutor Blackwell's grip over Mr. Starbuck. I can't take the credit. It was all Mr. Starbuck. He pulled himself through.
If you simpletons are done massaging one another's egos, no matter how positive your mood, my advantage remains unshakable. I have but to wait for the final guilty verdict. Isn't that right, your baldness? I can't let up now. I have to stop Blackwell. I have to see this through. Mr. Starbuck just has to make it back into space. I won't allow Clay's dream to remain unfulfilled. Ow, I hurt myself. I'm punching my hand too much. I need to stop. That hurts. We've got to destroy Blackwell's argument somehow. Think, Justice, think. If the only people at Launchpad 1 were Clay and Mr. Starbuck, and if Clay was already dead by the time the footage was taken, the only person who could have killed him is Mr. Starbuck. So the only way to counter Blackwell's argument is if I can prove that Clay was still alive when they arrived at the boarding lounge. Oh, I really did hurt myself. I punched my hand wrong. In which case, I should be able to find some contradiction in the evidence itself. I've already found it. Now let's see. About this data that we just received. Thank God you're using your brain. Let's go, Apollo. I know you have a brain in there. Let's go. This supposedly proves that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay's body in Launchpad 1. But if I'm going to prove that false, then there must be something I can use here. Enough of this farce, your baldness. Let's have your verdict. Objection! Prosecutor Blackwell, you seem to be quite in a hurry to rush the verdict. Does that mean you've already seen the thing that I see, the thing that I know, and that you know, and now I know that you know, and you know now that I know that you know that I know, and you know that I know, which means we both know that this is the end for you. I know. You burned your cabbage now! Is it still tasty? If you season it properly, it should still be fine. I believe in you. What about this oxygen tank data you submitted just now? It says that Mr. Starbuck's tank had 80% remaining, while Mr. Terran's had 0. It's very smoky, like in a good kind of smoky, or in the bad kind of smoky. You stand by the accuracy of this report? Of course. And I guess it simply means that it's faulty, as evidence goes. You will explain what you mean, Justice Dono. That's all you got? Well, you know what? I wish you some good food anyway, okay? Simple. This evidence contradicts the facts of this case. Take a look at the detailed description and you'll see what I mean.
I hope you have some evidence, Mr. Justice, because I don't see what's so contradictory.
Yes, Your Honor. Right away. This is the evidence that the auction tank report stands in contradiction to. Boom! Take that!
How does this evidence present a contradiction?
The problem is this part here. Right here, Your Honor. Get fucked, sir. I mean, Your Honor. Get fucked, Your Honor. I mean, I hope you have good relations with your wife? I feel like I should stop talking now. Note the remaining oxygen in Mr. Starbuck's tank as it carries Mr. Terran.
But it appears to say 50.
Yes, but according to the data, our client's tank had 80% remaining.
The oxygen in the tank increased.
I see Your Honor finds it as strange as I do. It's bad enough that there's a contradiction, but the increase in oxygen is beyond illogical.
Oh my, you're absolutely right. What is going on here?
Silence.
I too find it odd that the oxygen remaining has increased. It would be as odd as if my rations were to increase. But what does that prove? It doesn't change the fact that it's the defendant carrying the victim's corpse. Are you fucking stupid in the head or are you purposely obtuse? I'm gonna take your sword and I'm gonna chop that ponytail off. You seem to take great pride in your hair. Let's get rid of it.
Objection!
Is that a good insult or is that a good threat? I'm threatening to give you a haircut. I'm going to bet you don't get more. You can be both. That you don't get more rations because you don't abide by the rules. Either way, the oxygen remaining shouldn't increase, just as your rations don't increase. Therefore, this new information is critical. We can't overlook it. In that case, do you have an answer to this riddle of the mysteriously increasing oxygen? You'd better not disappoint, or I'll declare the inconsistency as mere equipment malfunction. First of all, you can't. Tanks were functioning properly at the time. Second of all, fuck you. Third of all, fuck you. Fourth of all, fuck you. Fifth of all, that's not Starbuck. Ugh. Also, question. I understand why they're already wearing their suits and everything. Why was your oxygen only 50%, Clay? Was it because of the bomb and the explosion? Did things happen and you used up a lot of oxygen quickly? What happened?
Prosecutor Blackwell has a point. I suppose it could be a simple malfunction, except for the fact that the details were right here, says the tanks were functioning properly at the time. Anyways, Mr. Justice, if you cannot provide an adequate counter-argument to this point, I'm afraid I must bring this trial to an end. So, do you think you can explain why the main oxygen level increased?
Of course I can. The thing to do at a time like this is turn my thinking around. Mr. Starbuck has no memory of it, but he claims to have carried Clay. Man with the 50 tank ought to be Mr. Starbuck. But if anything, the display on his oxygen tank should have shown an 80. This is a clear contradiction between the report and the security footage. And also him saying that he claims and thinks that he did, but he doesn't remember. So what I should be asking is not why did the oxygen level increase, but what had to have happened to make it look like it increased. Am I making some kind of mistake in my base assumptions here? You're all idiots and I hate all of you. Die. In a fire. Die in an explosion of your own. Ooh. Considering what's coming up, I probably shouldn't say that.
Well, Mr. Justice, we're waiting.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm ready to answer. This is why the remaining oxygen appears to have increased. What if it was the other way around?
The other way around? Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
As you can see, Your Honor, both men had their helmets on in this footage, and neither of them have a knife in their chest. But it turns out this is where our base assumptions went astray. We assumed that it was Mr. Starbuck helping Mr. Terran, but it was the other way around. It's... I mean, you can't get more too soon than before it actually happens. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to September 10th of a particular year, and I'm going to make a 9/11 joke, and no one's going to understand it until the next day. And that's going to be too soon. It was Mr. Terran who was helping Mr. Starbuck to the boarding lounge.
It was what? Order, Mr. Justice. You mean to tell me that the person on the right in this image is the victim, Clay Terran?
It's the only way of the riddle of the increasing oxygen level can be solved, Your Honor. At this point in time, the remaining oxygen in the victim's tank was at 50%. And when the victim was found in the boarding lounge, his tank was at 0%. That's right. There's nothing contradictory about the oxygen level decreasing. This means Mr. Terran was alive as they made their escape to the lounge.
Silence.
How short your memory is. Have you forgotten what you yourself proposed? Even if the victim was alive at this point in time, how did he descend the ladder with his arms still?
Objection.
Prosecutor Blackwell, you can't hurt me with a broken blade. Excuse me? It's true that we don't know how they got down the ladder. I suppose that matter needs further investigating. But we have proven that Mr. Terran was alive when he reached the boarding lounge. This fact alone shatters your claims, and opens up the possibility that the victim could have been killed by a third party. Gah! There were two people who claimed to be the first on the scene, but can we truly trust their statements? Let's see, the two people were Detective Candace Arm and Yuri Cosmos, right? You think that one of them might have given a false statement to the police? Yes, it's certainly possible. We might have to do a little more digging.
It seems we'll have to hear the testimony of these first two people on the scene.
Score!
Come to think of it, Detective Arm should be here in court right now. Bailiff, could you please show Detective Arm to the stand?
Wait, is it time? You! Detonate! Detonate! Oh, it's you, my good asshole! Wait, does that mean that we're interrupting this episode, going back to episode 1, and then continuing this episode? What was your voice? I don't remember your voice. That was months ago.
I have an announcement, everyone. What's the meaning of this? We're in the middle of a trial here. Please remain calm and listen carefully. Someone's reactivated the bomb. The bomb was defused, but it's about to explode! Explode!
Alright, everyone, time to run. A bomb? Now? Ah, everybody run! Wow, way to not cause a panic, my dude. Ah, I don't want to die! Oh no, everybody's panicking. This is not how you're supposed to do this, my good sir. I need everyone to calmly and orderly exit the building.
Silence.
Headless chickens with a death wish, the lot of you! Calm yourselves before all else.
Come on, Apollo, let's get out of here. One of them's Mr. Starbucks' dream. And who will carry out Clay's final wish? I don't care what happens to me. I'm not letting some bomb blow the truth up forever. I refuse to let things end here. Apollo, this is no time to be dramatic. If we don't get out of here now, we're gonna die. Come on, this way. Ow! Let me go. Apollo! Juniper? She hasn't evacuated yet? Ah! Juniper! Are you alright? Apollo, no! Not that way! Ah! Oof. Oof to babushka. And, well, you know the rest of the story. Apollo was hospitalized. There was a trial where people thought Juniper was the criminal. Yes, it was. Juniper was once again falsely arrested. False charges placed on her head. Tetsunate was actually the real murderer, fucker, motherfucker, bastard. And also, the 6 months are up, and Phoenix Wright can now practice law again legally. So, next chapter. What time is it? In the middle of the Space Center bombing trial, we had another bombing incident. This one destroyed courtroom number 4. Furthermore, Apollo suffered massive injuries from being there when the bomb went off. But apparently not his eye, which I assumed was from the bomb, but apparently it wasn't. Which makes it, honestly, really funny. Unfortunately, Juniper Woods was fingered as the courtroom... she was what now? Athena and I knew she had to be innocent, so we took her case on. We managed to clear Miss Wood's name. But Apollo sustained further injuries when he was attacked by Tetsunate. Yeah, this poor Apollo, he's been through the ringer. December 19th, 3:21 p.m. Write Anything Agency. Apollo's a tough guy, but this is taking its toll on him. Poor guy. Being attacked by Tetsunate like that on top of all his other injuries. Oh! Oh, that jacket. I was wondering where that jacket came from. It was Clay's. He was wearing Clay Tarrant's jacket. Apollo was resting at the nearby Hickfield Clinic. I had some experience with that place myself. Not good ones, mind you, but what an awful turn of events. Never thought he'd land in a hospital of all places. Phoenix Wright having flashbacks to the time he fell off a bridge and the time he got ran over by a car, but both times all he did was fucking sprain his ankle. You must miss him too, huh? Not that you don't have anybody to tease. Don't worry, he's young. He'll heal quickly and be back before you know it. It's been a while since I last saw Trucy look so down. We won the court case, yet nobody feels much like celebrating. Alright, enough of this, people! This is no time to be moping around. Now, try those eyes, both of you.
You're the only one who's crying, Athena.
Technicalities! Look, we have work to do. We have to take over.
Take over what exactly?
Apollo Space Center case, of course. As no verdict's been reached, there's still a chance. I agree with Athena. We should pick up Mr. Starbuck's defense. We have to avenge our fallen comrade. Right, Daddy?
Oh, hasn't exactly fallen. He's still alive, you know.
Good. Now that that's settled, let's get going. Come on, we gotta run.
Wait, right now?
We better not be running the whole way. There she goes. I'd better go catch up.
Can you take care of the office, Trucy?
Sure thing, Daddy. Have to be careful out there. In the meantime, I'm going to bake some cookies and fill up my magic panties for you.
She seems to be feeling a little better. I can always count on Athena to perk everybody up with her enthusiasm.
Oh, she's back. Don't mind me, just forgot a few things.
Wallet, phone, the documents, my bag. Sounds more like you've forgotten everything. I always count on Athena for that too.
Alright, you two, let's be careful out there. I miss having Trucy on the bench, I'm gonna be real. I love having her on the bench, I miss her. December 19th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room.
Our client is one Solomon Starbuck. He's so famous even I've heard of him.
That's right, he's a super famous astronaut who works at the Cosmos Space Center. He was actually up in the outer space 70 years ago.
I know quite a bit about him. I'm all excited to meet the man.
Probably gonna be down in the dumps again, yep. Last time we saw you, you were so energetic. Now look at you.
Wow, that was the longest sigh I've ever heard. Apollo told me all about you. You're Phoenix Wright, Apollo's mentor, right? Yes, that's right. Mentor has a nice ring to it.
You're such a bigger dork now that you have the suit back on. If you put the hoodie back on, Phoenix, and let your scruffle kind of grow out, you'll be much more calm and relaxed. Again. Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Starbuck. Mr. Wright and I have got you covered.
And you're the new kid that Apollo told me about. Wait, don't I know you from somewhere?
Huh? You mean other than at your trial? I don't think so.
I guess so. My mistake.
Okay, now I'm wondering how you know her, because I feel like that's not a coincidence.
My memory isn't what it used to be. My mind and body are kaput. Same goes for my life. I mean, I'm so astronomically unlucky that I had a bomb go off in the middle of my trial. Trying to defend me would be like trying to enter the stratosphere without a spacecraft.
Yikes, he seriously gotta stop depressing himself. I almost went back into Apollo. That's not Phoenix's voice. Cheer up, Mr. Starbuck. Besides, that thing you said about entering the stratosphere, that just means we'd shine like shooting stars, right?
Like shooting stars, huh? You know, you're right. Why didn't I think of that? After all, that's what we were all put on this earth to do, right? To shine like stars. Airplanes in the night sky, like shit. I guess I should have mentioned the fact that shooting stars burn out in a flash. Oh yeah! Here we go! 3, 2, 1! To the stratosphere and beyond! Yeah, I feel alive now.
Coughing.
Yeah, I feel alive now. You can go ahead and ask me anything you want. Is that really all it takes? Is that really all it takes? So you have no memory at all of the incident? I'm so ashamed. My memory of the time is as black and clouded as a dark nebula.
Still, it's strange you don't remember a thing. Are you sure you didn't take one of those anti-anxiety pills like they said at the trial? It is true, I developed a fear of space because of what happened 7 years ago. And I was taking medication secretly every now and then when my anxiety got bad. Having a fear of space is not something an astronaut can brag about, you know. Oh, the so-called Hat 1 miracle? Must have been a terrifying experience. But I'm still an astronaut at heart, come what may. I would never take drugs that might impede my performance just before launch. And launch meant everything to me. That's more certain than the theory of relativity. Seems like a completely different person now. This is the face of the astronaut I know, but definitely not the hair of the one. But the tranquilizers were found in your system. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't know why. I'm done for. If you didn't take them, then maybe somebody sent them to you? Exactly! That's what I thought. It must have been the real culprit. My medication was in my locker. Anybody could have gotten their hands on it. Maybe the real culprit also planted the detonator switch in your pocket. Yeah, that's gotta be it. I've been framed! I'll say, I even managed to plant your prints on the switch before slipping it in. It's a real possibility. Do you remember everything else that might be relevant? Anything at all, no matter how small. Like about the murder weapon, for example. That knife. I think it came from one of the Space Center's utility kits. Utility kits? Staff who work on machinery a lot are given those special toolkits to use. Thank you! Because that was a big question that was never answered during the trial was, what the fuck is this murder weapon and where the fuck did it come from? All the technicians have them, so I doubt you could prove whose knife it is. But that's the thing. Why would you, an astronaut, have one of the utility tools from the tech unit? You wouldn't. You want to talk about your trauma? As I recall, your last trip into space was 7 years ago, right? That's right. It was a pretty rough experience. During that mission, we had all kinds of problems with the craft. We did? What kind of problems? Power failure, oxygen leakage, busted radio, cracked windshields, loose control column. The heat shield came off as we were entering the atmosphere, which is very important. I thought I was a goner. I managed to make it somehow with the popsicles and ice packs from the freezer. You did what now? No wonder they dubbed it the Hat 1 miracle. It's a miracle you made it back. Space is a boundless place. That's why it continues to capture people's imagination. But the vastness of space shows us how insignificant we are in the scheme of things. The darkness just goes on and on forever, and ever, without end. There was nobody else there. Nobody was gonna come save me. I was all alone. All alone, with nothing to listen to but the sound of my own breathing and heartbeat. I kept scrambling to make repairs, but I couldn't keep my hands from shaking. Experience like that would make anybody afraid to go up into space. With the experience you had, weren't you dreading this mission? What? No way! Of course not! Even now, I want to go up into space so bad I can barely stand it. I want to shake off the Earth's gravity and escape velocity and spin around weightless! That does sound fun. But you have to admit it was pretty harrowing. Weren't you even a tiny bit afraid? I was afraid. Of course I was. Still am. But space is man's final frontier. An unknown world. The cosmic truth is out there waiting for us somewhere. The cosmic truth, huh? I guess there are people looking for the truth in every walk of life. No matter how afraid I am, I'm sure I can manage. If I give in to my fear, I'll never find the truth. As long as I don't give up, I can keep up the fight. One thing's for sure, Mr. Starbuck's passion for space is undeniably the real deal. You know what? You know what? I like this dude. Fucking great advice. Do it afraid. Do it scared. You're scared to do it? Do it anyway. Because you want to. Because doing it scared is better than not doing it at all. Go forth. Fucking amazing. Tell us more about about Clay. I was about to say my best friend, then I remember not Apollo. The victim, Clay Taryn. He was kind of like your protege, wasn't he? Oh, it wasn't a big exaggeration. Not a great deal like master and apprentice or anything like that. But Clay did think of me as his mentor. The mentor and the protege. What a combination they must have been. With his encouragement, I knew I could get over my fear and go back into space. Also, is it 7 years ago before this? 2013 would have been... Technically, they're futuristic, but still, 7 years beforehand would have been 2008? Yes? No? 2006? 2006. Would they have done like a single man spacecraft? I don't know. I'm of the impression that you generally don't send one person into space alone on a mission. Like, especially something important. You generally have multiple people there in case stuff goes wrong. But that's neither here nor there. But no. They must have been very encouraging, huh? Yeah, it's funny, really. Whenever I'd hear her shout, "You're fine!" I always got the feeling everything really was gonna be just fine. You're fine? Apollo says I'm fine, and you're fine all the time too. And I always feel encouraged too whenever I hear him shout it. Yeah, Clay and Apollo were best buds. They used to come visit the Space Center a lot ever since they were high school kids. One day, out of the blue, Clay even told me he wanted to be my protege. Those two hung around the Space Center so much they were like a part of the staff. Oh, that's sweet. One time during ZOG training, I started to panic a little bit. And the two of them took turns shouting, "You're fine!" over the radio. It was a simple thing, but it was exactly what I needed to hear. So, I'm fine and you're fine. We're like Apollo and Clay's secret phrases, huh? Oh. This kind of makes everything so sad all of a sudden. This puts so much in perspective. He's been saying that since the first trial in the first Apollo Justice game, if I recall correctly. Like, I'm sure that this is probably a retcon thing that they added in, maybe, but... It's just like, oh. And now he's dead. That's fucked up. I wish I could ask Apollo more about Clay and their relationship now. Maybe once he's out of the hospital. Speaking of Clay, how do you suppose he climbed down the ladder with you over his shoulder? Sorry, but I can't even begin to imagine. He actually did climb that down that ladder, so a way has to exist. From the freedom of space to the walls of a cell. But that prosecutor said the dark night sky isn't half bad through barred windows. You're fine! Solomon Saul Starbuck is fine. Everything is going to be alright. Huh? And Athena Sykes is fine. Come on, Mr. Wright, you too. I really have to. Phoenix Wright is fine. I can't hear you. I can't. Wait, no, wrong. Phoenix Wright is fine. We'll get you back into space yet, Mr. Starbuck. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Believe in your own innocence, and have faith in us. Paul believes in you wholeheartedly, and that's good enough for me. I believe in you too. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. I'll put my faith in you. And I vow to make it back into space. All I need first is a not guilty verdict. It feels nice to reassure ourselves every now and then that we're all fine. Legitimately, a good anti-anxiety thing is to tell yourself that you're fine. Having anxiety, tell yourself that you're fine and everything's going to be fine. Trust me, do it enough times, it'll help. Won't be perfect, but it will help. Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's get our investigation of the Space Center started. Pronto! An idea. Let's go. Goodbye, sir. We have places to be, things to do, and an investigation to solve. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center. Biscuit, hey buddy. How was your nap? Did you sleep well? Come on, kitty. You want to say hello on the microphone? Here. Want to say hello? You want to say hello, Biscuit? Come on, I know you can do it. Meow. Okay, you're cuddling, and that's very cute. Oh, nope, don't fall, don't fall. Back up, back up. Oh, Biscuit. Okay, you can stay down there. Biscuit doesn't want to meow for me. He only meows when he wants something or when he's scared. Don't do that. If you want up, I can get you up. Do not. Okay, you went behind me. If you call my back, you're going out of this room. That's fine. He's just going to be sitting behind me. Nope, there he is. Oh, I was wondering what kind of place the Space Center would be. It almost looks like an amusement park of the future. Yeah, did you know they even let the public see their rockets up close? Oh, so check it out. Look at how brightly the Galaxa logo shines in the sunlight above the entranceway. I really dig the stars and rocket motif it's got going. EXA, huh? Isn't that the name of the Federal Space R&D program? Yeah, but why the strange acronym? I mean, what is GIA supposed to stand for? Galaxy? Worth, and the whole thing would be something like Galaxy Exploration Agency. Which, if you ask me, I'd have abbreviated to GAXA, or even Gaia. I guess so. Oh, I know. Maybe the person who came up with the name just really likes the letter Y. This exchange is beginning to feel oddly like deja vu. Anyway, this place is more than just a research facility. It's also a tourist attraction. I have a feeling this is the director, so we'll get to him in a second, because this kind of reminds me of when I was a kid. There's a place called the Adventure Science Center that we went to on a couple field trips, and I loved going to that little... It's like a museum. I was like a kid, like science center that had like games and stuff that were all like educational. Sorry, Biscuit is walking around me right at the moment. You want to play, or do you want to cuddle? Because if you want to cuddle, well, you just woke up from a nap, so you're probably not in the mood to cuddle. You probably don't want to sleep some more. But I always want to cuddle. Okay, you're in play mode. If you give me a meow, ow. Nope. Okay. I mean, if you just keep going in circles, I'm not gonna mind. Doors attraction. Okay, what do we think Yuri's gonna sound like? Stay off the desk. Oh, where are you going? You're meowing, but you're not doing it loud enough for the mic to pick up. Don't know what you want, little buddy? How you doing? Big stretch. Big stretchy. Alright, off you go. I'll see you later. Oh, he's getting food. Tourist attraction. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Don't make me laugh. It's a monument to the human race. Galactic scooter, full speed ahead. How lame is the scooter gonna be? Oh my god. Okay, first of all, lame. Second of all, you look like Drake from Pokemon. Fall the chair. Oh, sorry. How you doing? Oop. Still not proper on how to hold you. At some point soon, I'm still gonna have to figure out how to hold you so I can trim your claws. Ow. There are your claws right there. Nope, away from the desk. No count. Don't get on the desk. Yikes, who's this old geezer and what's he want?
Look upon me and look well. Behold the great power of space science.
Hold on. You're definitely Yuri Cosmos, the murderer. Ah! But Biscuit, that's the microphone. And that was your tail meeting the microphone.
Look upon me.
What was... I'm trying to do Russian accent, but old man. He looks like Drake from Pokemon. Did I already say that?
Look upon me and look well. Behold the great power of space science.
Pardon me, but you are...
My glorious name is Yuri Cosmos. I am the director of the Cosmos Space Center, the center of the cosmos.
Wow, that's a little bit egotistical, don't you think? Alright, off you go again, Biscuit. Bye, I love you. Boss. Boss, that was pretty groan-inducing.
This person is the Space Center's director.
Yeah, I think he wants to play, but I'm not playing at the moment.
Comrade. Just say comrade a few times and you'll get it.
Hey, if you really want to hear me do bad Russian accents, go watch when I did Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. There were several. There was Beef Stroganoff. And there was, oh, hello. The assassin who had the pet mouse that was, oh, what was his name? Ratsputin? Ratsputin was great. Do not bite my toe. I know you're doing it because you love me. Don't bite my toe. That, you have a scratching post. Okay, I'm gonna try and take you up. If you're calm, you can stay. If you're not calm, then you have to go out of the room and I have to close the door on you. You can stay here though. I know you want to play, but I'm...
Comrade.
Person is the Space Center's director, then that means... so you were one of the first to discover Clay's body, weren't you? Biscuit, you have a scratching post. Please stop using my chair. You know I love you. And I know that you're doing it because it smells like me. Stop. Calm. Calm. That's my tea. Oh, that's my desk. And my tea. You don't get to drink my tea. You're so close to just staying still. You're so close. Ow! Ow, 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 ow. Nope, okay, that's enough. Time to get up. Why is it always so difficult to pick you up when you're laying in my chair like this? Still. Air jail for baby. Nah, I'm back. Apologies. I gave Biscuit the first part of his dinner. I think he was hungry. Anyways.
Comrade, that is correct. I was honored to be the very first man in all of space and time to discover the body. But this talk of the incident, are you by any chance the space police?
Yes, you're under arrest. I'm to send you off to space jail. Can't tack the word space onto just any old thing, you know. We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We're here to investigate his case. I would never be a lawyer for a corporation like Starbuck. But Mr. Starbuck is fine. Oh, and we're Earth lawyers, by the way.
Oh, I see. I've heard about you. In that case, by my esteemed privilege, I grant you permission to investigate. I trust you are appropriately grateful. Now go ahead, have at it!
I can already tell he's going to be nothing but trouble. Let me hear you say that, and you'll see what trouble really is. Let's be professional and ask him about when he found the body, okay? So, as director, what do you do here at the Space Center, specifically?
Defend peace across the galaxy and promote space development in this country. No matter what obstacles stand in our way, we keep going for the sake of mankind.
I believe they used the word specifically in my question.
Attention all personnel, to your break stations, prepare for break.
Hey, on the bright side, he doesn't overwork his employees, so props to you. Oh, I get it. You just wander around and tell people what to do in a self-important manner.
That is exactly right. Because I am an important man, my manner is important. Comrade.
Mr. Wright, this man doesn't get sarcasm. Well, there's bound to be some people like that here in the boundlessness of space.
What's this? You want to know what it is that makes me important specifically? Very well, I will tell you. I was the central figure of the Hot One project. You may proceed to be appropriately impressed. Now, go ahead, have at it.
Wasn't that project, you know, a real shit show? Like, I mean, the only reason it worked as well as it did is because Starbuck was fucking quick on his feet. Like, does that mean that you're behind it being a mess in the first place? I'd be more impressed if I knew what he did for it, specifically.
Could you tell us what you know about the incident from the other day? I refuse.
What?
Explaining is a job for common folk, not the director of the center of the cosmos. My testimony, which will go down in space history, will be heard in the courtroom.
What, so does that mean you'll be taking the stand tomorrow?
That is correct. I will be the most glorious witness in the history of mankind.
You're so egotistical and self-important, and doing your voice kind of hurts me a bit. Not sure if he really understands what being a witness is all about. Looks like Director Cosmos is the type that only talks about what he wants to talk about. Let's at least try to ask him about the things he might be willing to open up about. The Hot One was a rocket that was launched into space 7 years ago, correct? Despite numerous problems, it somehow made its way back home.
I suppose it is part of my job to educate ignorant young folk like you. Very well. I will report to you the complete story of the Hot One project.
Oh, thank you very much? Question mark?
Hot One's noble mission was to collect samples from an asteroid, and Mr. Starbuck was the pilot for that flight. Comrade, eventually the Hot One reached its planned orbit.
Still just eating.
From where it launched the Hope probe towards the asteroid belt. From there, the Hope probe began its long, lonely journey into the far reaches of space. I feel like I've completely lost the accent here. Comrade. Then, after a terrifying struggle, the Hot One returned safely to Earth. That struggle was when the incident known as the Hat 1 miracle occurred, right? Correct. And it was truly was a miracle. Of course, it is hard to turn the ordeal into a movie. As for the Hope probe, it did eventually arrive safely at its destination. Comrade. It obtained a few samples from the asteroid and returned to Earth but a few days ago. So what kind of samples are they? What's in them? The samples are scheduled for analysis in the near future. We haven't had time since they just came back the day before Terran's murder. Regrettably, we've had no time to inspect the samples due to everything that has occurred.
Wait, okay, hold on. If they haven't been inspected yet, and the capsule was important, why was it going on the rocket that was about to launch? What was the mission supposed to be?
But this puts our space development program ahead of other countries by several years. That's quite impressive.
I guess this guy isn't just a loudmouth braggart after all.
The golden age of space development. Our predecessors were successful in bringing a moon rock back. This is the greatest achievement in the history of the Space Center. The public fell in love with space and all of its glorious potential.
Moon rock, huh? I remember that being big.
Our endeavors with the moon rock live on in our work with those asteroid samples. I want to bestow new hopes and dreams for the future upon mankind once again. That is my mission as the man who stands at the center of the cosmos.
Hi, Biscuit. Are you calmed down now that you've eaten a bit? Or are you just in super play mode? Prepared for this in a lot of future streams is, oh hey look, it's Biscuit, are you calm? Are you gonna be over here, buddy? I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there.
Bite your tongue. It's not for anything so base as money or politics. It's all for the brilliant future that awaits mankind, and all for my illustrious mission. With the recent budget cuts, my staff tells me finances are tight, but I won't hear it.
I guess even the space program has to watch its budget. Keep cutting the space program budgets and it makes me sad. By the way, you seem awfully knowledgeable about this kind of thing, Athena. Uh-huh. Oh, well, you know, I thought I'd better brush up. You can say, if you promise to just lay down calmly.
Is that so? But I will be on my way. As you can see, I'm a very busy and very important man. Watch me go on my little, what are these called? Galactic scooter. Fire up the main engine. Max battle speed and engage.
What are those things called again? I think it's surprisingly fast. What are they called? I'm trying to remember. Those weird little scooter things. I guess we'd better get going too. You bet. Let's make it so. Buddy. December 19th, Cosmos Space. Okay, are you going to be too active for this? Do I need to put you down? I need to take you into the other room again? Don't drink that. No, don't drink that. Okay, well, that's not exactly... I want you to meow properly, but that's okay. Please stop getting onto my desk, and please stop looking at my cup of tea. That's almost empty. Biscuit! Biscuit, I love you. What are you doing? You can't just purr at me like this. going on outside? Okay, Biscuit. Yes, I see that. You're rubbing your head against me so well. That's not gonna make me want you. That's not gonna make me let you get on the desk. You're adorable, and I love you. But I'm not letting you on my desk. It's like you're okay. I've had you for 6 days. It's like you're doing your best to be like, here, see, I'm petting you. I'm letting you pet me. That means I should do whatever I can do whatever I want, right? Biscuit, what's on your hold on, Biscuit, what's on your eye? Biscuit, look here. Stop moving. Eye properly, cause you and Kaden are laughing. Yes, yeah. I'm glad that you're enjoying this, Wisp. I'm glad that you're having fun. Biscuit, let me see your eye. Hold on. Calm down. You're so energetic. This is the most energetic cat in the world. He's either sleeping or he's playing at full force. Is this how you are with Pam? I don't know. Sometimes, but Pam isn't this up close and personal, I feel like, on your streams. Okay, now you're bad. Okay, no. There's something in your eye, and I need you to calm down enough for me to look at it. But you're not calming. Okay. I'm lucky. Okay, yeah, there's something in your eye, but luckily we have a vet visit next week. On. Might just be a bump. Yeah, Kofi. Well, Kofi's loud is the thing. Kofi barks, so we tend to hear more about Kofi. But this gets very active. But he's very sweet and loving, but he's also very energetic. Part of him showing his love is he likes to bite, like very softly, but it still hurts me. Hello. Your eye again. I want to make sure. I don't like being up here, but I need to see. Not enough for me to see. She's usually sleeping. That's fair. I need to get Biscuit out of here for the next few minutes so I can finish stream. Good, I love you. You got it. I'm gonna take you out for just a couple minutes, okay? Okay. Oh, I broke my VTuber broke. Oh, there we go. Her neck was broken. It's fine. She's a robot. She doesn't need it. He had a little. Okay, like I have some people help with some people in the chat. He has a little. It looks like a red bump, like kind of in his, like right in front of his eye, like on his nose. How do I put it? Somewhere around there, and it looks a little pink around his eye. I'm worried. So obviously, I'm immediately somewhat concerned. We do have a vet visit on Tuesday. And I don't think it's anything super serious, but also I can't get him still long enough I would need to get him asleep, and that's difficult. And I know that the moment I touch him, he'll wake up again and be back in play mode. That's how he is so far. If he's not, no, he's not fussing with it. He doesn't even seem to notice it's there. Someone mentioned cat acne the other day. I think that was Jesse. Comes and go, nothing to worry about. Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. But as someone who's never owned a pet bigger than a goldfish, you know, new cat mama's gonna worry a little bit. Anyways, so this is where Mr. Taryn was murdered. Yeah, this is the lounge. Let's see that diagram that the police made again. Your car is repaired? Congratulations, Maya. I still need, like... I still need a lot of money to finish repairing my car. Right now we're in the main building, here on the right side on the 3rd floor. Clay and Mr. Starbuck fled here from Launchpad 1 after the explosion.
You there! No admittance without express permission.
We're Mr. Starbuck's lawyers. We've come to investigate. Cat repaired. That's what I'm going to say when I get back from the vet on Tuesday. I'm just going to say cat repaired. Or, to put it another way, that just sounds another way of saying that they're fixed. Maybe I should wait, give it a couple months, and then say cat repaired.
Sorry, nobody gets in without permission. Not even the police superintendent. Gonna have Detective Fulbright getting mad at me.
Detective Fulbright is here, huh?
Yeah, he's in the Launchpad 1 corridor. Go get clearance from him, and then we'll talk.
Leave it to me. I'm great at getting intel out of Detective Fulbright. Let's see. What trick should I use on him today?
I don't know if I should be grateful or afraid.
Okay, no las dos. So, to get to the Launchpad 1 corridor, we just have to go through that door with the blue rocket on it, I think?
Wait, that door...
looks awfully familiar. Yeah, it should. It's the one with the fingerprint lock. So how did he get in there? G'day there, boss. This is the door Clay and Mr. Starbuck used during their escape from the launch pad. Apollo should be afraid? Apollo's not even here, and he just feels a chill going down his back. Oh, that explains it. The fingerprint system has been deactivated, so I think we can just pass through. Now come on, let's go! You'll find it weird that they took out the exploration of this game for the most part, except for at specific times. December 19th, Cosmo Space Center, Launchpad 1 corridor. This is it, huh? This is the corridor the two of them used in their escape. Yep, this is the only thing connecting Launchpad 1 with the main building. The police taped down at the other end. Guess we won't be looking at the Launchpad. After the explosion, this whole corridor must have been filled with smoke. Also, I know you're meowing at me, buddy. But you're very energetic at the moment with your claws and your teeth, so you gotta step away for now. After the explosion, this whole corridor... Oh, I was talking about how cute that robot in the background is. The launchpad itself was probably a sea of flames. Must have been pretty scary for them. Now, where could Detective Fulbright be? Hey, I think that's him over there.
What should I do? Which path is the path of justice?
He seems to be lost. That's funny. This corridor is a straight shot.
Oh, it's you lawyer people. Welcome to the Space Center. Enjoying a relaxing day off, are you? Here for a little rocket sightseeing?
We're here to investigate the scene, same as you. Do you have any info to share? Boss, if he acts at all reluctant to give us information, we hit him with the whatever shall we do act. I'm sure he'll fall for it. Got it? Are we trying to catch the unruly family dog here or something?
Info on the case, huh? Alright, I'll gladly share some with you.
Huh? What just happened?
Detective and lawyer, seeking truth and justice side by side. I like it. Just take whatever you want from me, you info bandits. I'm in a generous mood today.
I don't know, there's something weird about Detective Fulbright today. Oh, we needed information, so let's run with it. If you say so. Detective Fulbright, could you give us permission to investigate the crime scene? There's an officer on guard and we can't get in. Oh, whatever shall we do?
That's an easy one. I'll let them know over there to let you in. Investigate to your heart's content. Take a week if you need it, a month even. Shall I have some snacks delivered? One of my men gives a mean neck rub.
Why do you know? No, that's okay, but thanks. And also, why do you know that they give a good neck rub? Something about that screams like abuse of power. Definitely not the Fulbright I know. Detective Fulbright is acting sickeningly sweet. It's kind of gross, actually. Do you think he hit his head or something?
Who knows? Whatever the case, it's making our lives way easier.
You were here at the Space Center at the time of the incidents, weren't you, Detective?
Oh, that's right! I was here on a security assignment.
Aren't you a detective? The police are required to secure rocket launches now? I didn't know that. Also, you're a detective, not an officer.
Yes, well, you know us. To serve and protect! That's definitely what we do, and it's definitely not just a thing that we say to make people get off our backs. The explosions occurred while I was here on duty, so I started leading the evacuation.
He's leaving out a lot of details, but okay. Could you tell us more about what happened?
Of course! A bomb went off on the second floor of the main building. Right after that, the one over in Launch Pad 1 also blew sky high. So I immediately instructed the visitors and the employees to evacuate to the shelter.
Shelter?
That's right! There's an evacuation shelter in the basement of the Space Center. It's there for accidents and emergencies and the like.
So where were you when the first bomb went off?
I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. My elevator wasn't working on account of the explosion, and the stairs on the 2nd floor were destroyed, so we couldn't go that way.
Then wasn't it possible to get down to the basement shelter?
No, we lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. It was a folding ladder, so it wasn't very stable, but at least it reached the ground. After I secured the ladder, I left to take another look around for any other survivors. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter.
Wow, what an ordeal. But climbing down an emergency ladder kind of sounds fun.
Thank you for your answer, Detective. You were very helpful. Just a moment! I have some more information to share with you. But don't tell Prosecutor Blackwell, okay?
Wow, and Prosecutor Blackwell usually has you on a short leash too. Kinky.
Well, never mind that. I thought you should know that there was a witness.
Excuse me? Could you tell us more about this witness?
Sure thing. The witness was a Space Center employee who was on the 4th floor. While she was climbing down, she looked through a window into the 3rd floor lounge.
So, since she was looking into the crime scene from the outside?
That's right! It was just a matter of chance that she saw something important. Not that I know what she saw exactly yet, though.
You don't? But that's the most important thing of all.
Don't you worry. I'll get around to interviewing her soon enough. She'll still be somewhere here in the Space Center. You might even run into her.
A 4th floor employee, huh? Alright, thanks for the info, Detective Fulbright. Gee, you sure are being cooperative, Detective. A little too cooperative, even.
Yes, well, actually,
Something you can't talk about?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, never mind. Don't worry about me. Well, I'll be on my way now. Don't worry about the suspiciousness of it.
Are you doing better? answer is no, you're probably not calmed down, but I'd like to give you a chance to be anyways. Okay, if you can stay right here, you can stay until stream ends. What was that all about? Something is definitely going on. I'm going to get it out of him next time I see him. Okay, I'm not so sure he'll talk about it though. Well, we have permission to investigate now. Let's head back to the boarding lounge. December 19th, Cosmos Space Center, boarding lounge. There's a cat in my lap. There's a cat in my lap. Biscuit is making biscuits on my stomach. Hi, buddy.
Ah, you two. Detective Fulbright has granted you permission to investigate. He also said I should bring you some snacks or give you a neck rub too if you'd like.
Oh, that's alright, but thank you for the offer.
Well, time to roll up our sleeves and start investigating. Let's see. Where's that diagram again? Lounge is on the 3rd floor.
Get a picture of you real fast. Nope.
So this lounge is on the 3rd floor of the main building. And according to Apollo, this is where he believes a third party killed his friend.
Well, let's stop the recap and start looking for traces of this third person then.
Read my mind, Athena. I'll make that our first priority. There's just one problem, though. This room...
so big. Don't worry, we can use this to help us.
A Space Center pamphlet? For tourists?
Yep, picked it up at the entrance. The maps inside should come in handy. Let's see. Yep, here it is. A map of the lounge. This is the door we went through to talk to Detective Fulbright.
Oh yeah, that's the door with the fingerprint recognition lock.
Wow.
Well, I guess this map will make things a little easier.
Yeah, no more excuses. Let's track down the third person. Can I play this game one-handed? There's one hand on cat and one hand on controller. Hit no. Ow, ow. Nope. Okay, you're getting feisty again. Dual wielding is great until the cat decides that it's time to love bite a bunch. Play, and I know he wants to play. I will play with him afterwards. I love that cat. That cat loves me. He shows loves with teeth. Oh, I guess it... So far, okay, I've gotten a couple of scratches. Pretty much all my scratches are because he begins, like, to bite or to scratch, and I, like, recoil. That's the word, recoil. So I'm not used to... Love chomps, yes, they are love chomps. And they're not actually that hard. Like, they won't really hurt me. They sting a little. But if I get surprised by them, I recoil, and that is what ends up scratching me. I think it was Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night. I went to bed and I let him wander to and from my bedroom if he likes. But on this night, he went to nibble my ear, like in a loving way, like cats sometimes do to their mothers. But it surprised me, and so I jerked away, and now there's a small little scratch on my ear that you can still see. But I love him anyways, because I know he didn't mean to hurt me. Oh wait, there's just one more thing. What's that strange creature moving around outside the window? Oh boss, it's just a holographic image. Oh yeah, I knew that. That's a relief. There should be a button somewhere in this room to turn the image on and off. That's what it says in the pamphlet anyway. The only reason you're so eager to start is so you can push that button, isn't it? And what's wrong with that? Let's just look for the button while we're looking for clues. Alright, fine. Let's get investigating. I want to look at the seahorse thing. First glance, it looks like a peaceful landscape. Then there's that creature. Didn't the Hope probe go to some planet? Maybe this is what its surface looked like. I don't know, I think it would have made the news if they discovered a creature like that. It did make quite a bit of news though, when the probe came back. Yeah, but the Hope probe didn't even go to a planet, and it went to an asteroid. That's a big rock kind of thing. Even aliens can't live there. This is where they discovered Clay. Yeah, he was already dead when they found him. Let's take a look at the photo. So he was stretched out like this and... Huh? What's that thing that looks like a thermos? That's the thing that Prosecutor Blackwell mentioned when I was in court with Apollo. And he said that it contained asteroid samples. Why were they taking it back to the rocket? Oh right, Director Cosmos mentioned something about that too, didn't he? They were brought back only 5 days ago by the probe that the Hat 1 launched. I wonder what they look like. Do you think they'll let us see? I was thinking about that after we solve the case, okay? Ooh, a sleep pod. Do you think these would be comfortable? I think they look kind of comfortable. These are apparently oxygen capsules. They're for recovery after a training session. Ow. I just want a sleep pod that looks like that. Then again, I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so maybe not. I wonder if they can change your voice. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Huh? It didn't do a thing. It's not helium, Athena. It's oxygen. Oh, a mirror! How thoughtful of them to put one here. Thoughtful. So the ladies can fix their makeup. One's appearance is just as important in space as it is on Earth, you know. You never know when you're going to run into some other life form after all. Athena is a guaranteed alien fucker. Like, canonically, right there, I'm calling her an alien fucker. Let's go, Athena. You'll love to see it. Doubt anybody who thinks like that would ever become an astronaut in the first place. Just wait, is there gonna be more alien fuckery? Some pretty futuristic looking furniture over there. According to the pamphlet, those are no ordinary chairs. They're like amusement park teacup rides. You can power them yourself, it says. If you spin the table, your chair spins too. Why would anybody want to have something like that here? It's for astronauts who have trouble with the device on the ceiling. No vertical spins. It says it's a training device that's easy on the eyes and on the body. Can a person really call themselves an astronaut that can't handle 0G? Hello? What do we have here? There's some kind of panel with 2 buttons on it here. Just push it! That's the invariable principle of buttons! There are such a thing as buttons left unpushed. Hey, the giant holographic image disappeared. Well, that side of the wall seems kind of barren without it now. Still, let's see if we can't find anything new with the image off. Well, the holographic image off the screen is completely black, which for some reason makes me think of losing an argument to Prosecutor Blackwell in court. At least it's got my brain revved up. I can come up with my best ideas at times like these. A window, and it's right next to the holographic image too. I bet it's here to help people see the stark contrast between reality and virtual reality. Way off. It says emergency ventilation. You know, to clear smoke from a fire. See, it's pointing out the virtual insanity of reality. Here's another amazing piece of equipment. Walk on the surface of the moon, it says. Oh boy, I'm gonna try it! Gravity is weak on the moon, so I bet I could do mid-air somersaults. We're still on Earth, remember? Besides, it's connected to the ceiling. Well, at least I could jump really high. There's a sign on the wall that very clearly says, don't jump too high. Then what good is this thing? Didn't I say in the beginning, walk on the surface of the moon? Hello, what is this? Hey, I see something shiny down there. Let's take this cover off then. A bullet? What the hell? And it's only partially squished. Why? What's this? It looks like a metal jelly bean. Really small, but it's a bullet. It's only about 2 or 3 millimeters in diameter. Let's see, that would make the caliber 0.1, which is pretty small. Which is incredibly small, because the main pistol that most people think about is 9 millimeters. This is a third that size. Caliber refers to the diameter of a gun's barrel, right? Yes, but I've never heard of a .1 caliber gun before. This bullet must be for a special kind of gun. I bet if you tried firing a bullet this small with a regular sized gun, it would just fall right out. Moon's haunted. What? Moon's haunted by really tiny mice. Moon's haunted with mice. We need the really small gun. Yeah, it must have been a really small gun. I wonder how the bullet ended up here. I mean, we're in the bottom left, on the south door side of the room, according to the map. That's pretty far from where Clay's body was. Maybe the police didn't think to look here. Yeah, leave it to Detective Fulbright to accidentally hand us just the card we need. I know you're meowing at me, Biscuit. But I also know that if I open that door, you're just gonna bite me. You're just gonna be all bitey again. And we've got 10 more minutes, okay? Now that you understand what I'm saying. What's this? A trap door? It's a trash chute. The cleaning robots throw the garbage out from here. The robots do the cleaning? What a futuristic world we live in. Yeah, now robots are doing the streaming. Let's hope they don't revolt like they do in science fiction movies. No way, all the robots here are very nice. I don't know why that does remind me that I have stuff for Biscuit on my throne wish list now, and I might add some more. Totally not foreshadowing. Totally, definitely not foreshadowing. I don't know what it's foreshadowing, or if I'm foreshadowing. Don't worry. Actually, wasn't there one in the Launchpad 1 corridor? We can go say hi to it if you want. I do want to go say hi to the robot, please, for the love of all that is good. I also want to know what this is. I wonder what this big knob is for. It looks like the knob on the stove. Well, it's the same shape, but I think that's where the similarities end. I mean, it's behind a glass pane. What kind of stove would require knob security like that? Well, the knob is straight up and down, so if it was for a stove, the burner would be off. Right, if it was for a stove. Still, I wonder what it's really for. Here, okay. This is something interesting. I wanted to come look at this. The knob here is sideways, which feels like an important fact considering the fact that we noticed it. The big question is, what does that mean? Something turned on by a knob that's not a stove? How about a rocket engine? If you had to start the engine here, the rocket would take off before you could get in. Then I guess all we can say for now is that it's a mystery knob. So this is the fingerprint recognition device. I guess you put your hand on this hand mark. Why guess when you can try? Now to line my hand up with the outline. Don't, Athena, this thing is related to the case. Get your prints all over that, and the next thing you know, you'll be named as a suspect. Oh, how can he be so cruel to a little girl like me? I'm not buying those tears, Missy. I'm not buying those tears either, mister. Let's see, this door is... Where's that pamphlet? Here we are. It's the door to the corridor that leads to Launchpad 1. We went through it earlier when we went to talk to Detective Fulbright. I guess the security lock must be disengaged now, right? They say the corridor was filled with smoke at the time of the bombing. Thing beside the door. This must be the fingerprint recognition device. Which reminds me, I think Prosecutor Blackwell talked about it at the trial. The notion of a third party in Launchpad 1 is already absurd, blah blah blah. Enter, you need the fingerprint scanner, and the only people who've done it were those two and the director. Director did it. But the number of authorized personnel was supposed to be really small. I know you're crying at me, Biscuit. It hurts. It hurts me to hear you meowing because you want my attention. Bah! Fingerprint powder. I brought it just in case something like this came up. I found it at the office. I'm just itching for a chance to use it. Oh, way to think ahead. Now, let's dust the fingerprint recognition device and see what we can find. You got it. I'll sprinkle some here and a little over there. And we're not going to let the player do it because boo. Flip. Let's see what we have here. Oh, we got something. Oh, it's only a single set of prints. Isn't that a good thing? Sure if you could figure out whose prints these are. Although I doubt we'll be so lucky as to get the culprit's prints on the first try. Well, I'm willing to bet that Detective Fulbright has some fingerprint data. Right, and there's the security footage of this door, too. Yes, here it is. It came up in court the other day. You can see the part of the footage just after this bit. Oh, because that would be right before the murder, wouldn't it? It is. I know it is. But also, they programmed it before. It's been in like 2 or 3 other games. With the mood he's in, he'll probably show it to us right away. Yeah, he's in almost too good of a mood today. To be fair, they cut a lot of stuff out of this game. Like, mechanics-wise. Which is interesting, but I guess it kind of makes sense that this was more or less a return to the series. Go see if we can find him again once we're done with this room. What have we not looked at? We technically haven't looked at that. I guess it doesn't matter. Went to 3D, had to cut some stuff? I guess. Yeah. This was the security camera that recorded the astronauts making their escape. Oh, let's commemorate this occasion with a love and peace. Budget had to go to making the models? Yeah, I guess so. I'm not saying that I don't understand. I'm saying aw. You're done now. Shall we move on? Yeah, okay. But just one more for the road. Peace! Very mature. Looks like there are 3 doors that lead in and out of this room. Well, let's check. Drumroll, please. Ta-da! The Space Center pamphlet. We're here at the place that says, yes, we know. Here are the 3 doors. Let's call them Lefty, Righty, and Downy. Making Jill-O-Lantern. Fuck, I forgot the name of the great game already. I hope you guys are doing well on that, getting proper rest. We usually say west, east, and south in a case like this, you know? Details, details. Anyways, take a look at the west door. Lefty. That door with the rocket icon leads to Launchpad 1. I know it because it says here on the map, Launchpad 1 corridor. So that's where we were with the detective. It was filled with smoke after the explosion. Right, next up, the right-hand side of the map, or east in your world. Boring! That's the door with the satellite dish icon to signify communication, aka the control room. It definitely says control room. Looks like it has another door on the opposite side. They communicate and exchange information with rockets and probes in space from there. So it's the center of the Space Center. The Space Center, if you will. Everybody starts to talk like Director Cosmos after they've been here a while, and if you were to put that up in space, it'd be the Space Center. But it seems that they built a new command center on the 6th floor. That's what they used for the Hat 2 mission, so this control room was empty at the time. Or so they want us to think! Always wanted to see the inside of a mission control room, and since we're here, I'd love to do that too, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to. I want to keep curious kids like you out. The door is protected with fingerprint recognition. Only the director can go through. Hey, what if we lifted some prints from that one over there and put them over there? And oh no, it opens! Boy, that immediately tells us who has access to that room and also who used that room. Ha 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 ha. How much security? I'm definitely not the one they're looking to keep out, Athena. So apparently the lock is also hooked up to backup generator in case of emergencies. Okay, what about the last door? This lower door... Oh, excuse me. I mean, south door? Boring. It leads to the elevators. Door we came through when we entered this room, right? Yep, and of course, there's no fingerprint recognition device, so it's open to anyone. The elevators weren't working at the time due to the explosion. Well, that's about it for the 3 Muscadors of the boarding lounge. Thanks. Understanding the layout of the lounge should help us understand the case. So I thought we'd better have a good grasp of where all the doors go. Okay, speaking of... Whoa, hold on, hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone. Why is there a spider web on the... who put a spider web here? Hey, Mr. Wright, take a look at this. It looks like a bullet hole. Great find, Athena. It's pretty big. Whoever fired their shot must have been using a pretty large gun. So, based on my experience, I'd say this was fired from a regular pistol. Well, whatever size it was, somebody fired a gun in here, right? Apparently. That's an important fact. Do you see a bullet around somewhere? No, the police might have taken it, though. Let's ask Detective Fulbright about this bullet hole later. Okay, so it's technically... okay. I think that means that we're done investigating here. No matter how I look at it, all I can think of it is torture device. I guess it's a training device for getting used to zero gravity. Uh-oh, Athena has an odd glint in her eye. Is she thinking about trying that thing out? I should try to stop her, but I'm afraid she'll just outmuscle me. Hey, Mr. Wright, look at that up there! Some kind of fragment? It's stuck in tight. Oh, so that's what the glint was all about. That color looks familiar. I think it's part of an oxygen tank. You're right. But if that's here, it means Clay's tank ruptured after they arrived at the boarding lounge. The prosecutor Blackcole's theory that Mr. Starbuck dropped Clay down the ladder was stupid from the start. A little bit. A little bit. It took me a moment. Once they zoomed in on it, I saw it. The ladder must be wrong. This proves that both of the astronauts were alive when they reached the boarding lounge. Oh, Apollo was right. The scene of the murder wasn't the launch pad. Way to go, Apollo. How did I not see that? Because now it's super obvious. Okay, this is super cute. I think this is a good place for us to start next week. I think this is a good place for us to call it. Come back to this adorable little robot next time. Look how cute she is. I'm going to say this one. Welcome to the Space Center, guests. Welcome. Dunk. Welcome to the Space Center. Apologies. I have been having some speech malfunctions ever since the explosion. But I think that's a good place. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you again to Molly for the raid. Everyone for hanging out. We should be back on Saturday for Alan Wake. Stream on Sunday with whatever we're doing. Oh, whoops. That's fine. That's fine. I want it to remain here. I don't know why I'm doing this, because I'm not... Anyways, what was I saying? Words. I was saying words. What were those words? Nope, I don't remember what I was gonna say. I lost it. It's gone. But thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a. It is well, actually, it's a combination food and kitty time because I'm hungry. Kitty had food. Now it's my turn to get food. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. Let's raid. Let's raid Callista. Why not? Alright, thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you have a great night. I'll see y'all on Saturday. Let me see if I remember how to spell this. Ah! Oh, I guess it's broken here. That's fine. It do be like that sometimes. Yeah, that's it for me. I'd have Biscuit say goodbye, but goodbye, Biscuit. Do you hear him purr? Alright. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all later. Yeah, that's it for me. Ah! Bye. Biscuit wants me.